live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 28 of the Otter Players Podcast. Shout out to Team USA basketball winning the gold, shutting France down as we should. But besides that, we're going to jump right into gaming. We're going to cover Xbox delaying Avowed, which we didn't get to cover last week. Take Two CEO Strauss Zelnick getting more into it about Game Pass and what he thinks Call of Duty is going to be capable of. Ready at Dawn getting shut down, and much, much more. But without further ado, we'll jump right into the intros. So, Weeb, how are you, man? And what have you been playing?
I'm good. Trying to escape the heat because it was another hot day here today. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
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 Oh, and you
it
know
is.
what? Not just USA though. Before you go on, shout out to y'all in
Yeah.
the Netherlands because the Netherlands has been doing their thing in the Olympics. By the way,
Oh,
some of y'all track and field people and stuff have been really going all out. So congrats to y'all winners as well.
thank you.
Hmm.
I've tried my best.
Absolutely.
Uh, and also shout out to Australia for their terrific performance at the breakdance. Oh man, it
that
was.
that should be at World Guinness record.
Yeah, they
That's
really
how
shut that
amazing
down.
that shit was.
I now kudos to her that she scammed her government and convinced them that she actually could breakdance. But yeah, what I've been playing. I've played a bit of Cookie Cutter, which is a
Nice.
Metroidvania. Okay, I knew that Omar would be pleased. I haven't played a lot of it yet because I've spent most of my time with another game that will please somebody here in the channel. That's Nobody Wants to Die. Shout out
Nice.
to Morgan for recommending it to me. And
I know she gonna get
Hmm.
the whole podcast to play it at this rate.
I bought
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's on my
I
list. That's just freaking
That's
being
my
home to
next
play the
game.
shit is
I I do
shit.
do recommend it if Morgan's endorsement wasn't enough because yeah, it is a terrific game.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean I think you've explained it what it's about last week, but in a nutshell, it's a yeah first person sort of adventure detective game with a cyberpunk uh, noir setting, I guess, because it has sort of the retro elements, with like flying cars, but they look like cars from the 30s, 40s. Um, and and yeah, you have like these like the best thing I've seen is that when you go to your apartment and you have this sort of this pad, to enter a code to enter your apartment, and it's like an analog dial, so you have to dial the numbers of your
Yeah.
access code. I love that part. Like the attention to detail is pretty amazing.
Hmm.
I love these kind of things, like these world building things. Story was also pretty good. I think overall I really enjoy it. The only thing I say that sort of um, drag it down a bit was that there were some limitations, with puzzles. Like there were generally just okay, you have to sort of rewind time, and sometimes you have to use like two tools, the X-ray scanner and the UV light, light. Um, and but I did feel like sometimes it dragged along a bit too long. Like you had to like go through all the motions instead of okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. Like I see he has a head wound. They was shot in the head. Like I don't actually need you to make me rewind to make sure. Oh yeah, he actually was shot in the head. Like yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
But other than that, I mean, was amazing experience. I did, and it's as you also said, Morgan. It's pretty easy plat. Uh, I I did use a trick where you disable
Yep.
your auto
I
save sync.
I
Yeah, and
did
then
the same.
reload. Yep. Though I did unfortunately miss one trophy, so I did have to replay the first 3 chapters.
Yeah, was
At
it the
least they
one where
let
you
you
have
go
to
back
make
and do
the
chapters instead of starting the whole goddamn game over.
make the decision about the document, whether to keep it or
No. I
not
got
that?
that one,
Oh,
but
okay.
there was one after you after you have the confrontation, with the cops, that you then go back to your apartment and you have to catch a pamphlet that was floating down. So it was really
Gotcha.
like
Yeah. I would have missed that
blinkingly
one too.
missed. Yeah. I did read up on it, but I forgot about it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna continue. I'll probably remember what I have to do next, and then I said, "Shit, fuck, I forgot," and I already auto saved, and there was nothing I could do. So yeah,
Yeah.
I had to replay that part. But other than that, yeah, pretty straightforward plat. And yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it if you're if you like, these sort of adventure games where it's just solving puzzles and not really combat. And it's definitely an intriguing setting, and I'm looking forward to what the developers are going to do next, because there's definitely a lot of potential there.
No doubt.
Yep.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things, so it's definitely on my list of games to get to. So much to play. And again, as always, Weeb, it sounds like you're just having a ball, at a time when so many people claim there's nothing to play. So obviously that's a lie.
Yeah.
But Nelson, it's been a minute since we had you, man. I know you've been pushing the workload like crazy, but
Work,
and you,
kids, and gone, and vacation, and
yeah,
yeah,
you've been doing a little
it's
bit of
summer.
everything. But now that we
Not
got you,
home.
how are you, man? And what have you been playing?
Tired. I've been playing work and spending time with kids.
That
But
is a fair
also
assessment.
that Signy, I picked that up. I've only got a few minutes into it or whatever because I came home from work, 15 hours, and then I was tired, so I
That is
didn't get that
fair.
far into it. But it's a fun game. I was falling asleep,
Yeah, I've heard nothing
but I
but good
wanted to at
things
least
about it.
try it. But it's really good, really fast, very fluid. It's like $30. If you like them shoot 'em ups, like growing up playing shoot 'em up games, it's really good. Very fluid, good graphics. It's fun.
Yeah, it looks like it reminds me of Stardust or whatever that was called that the one team did
Super
for PlayStation.
Stardust,
Yeah,
yeah,
something like that.
or like a resin gun. I don't remember.
Yeah,
There's like a
Rezo Gun.
isometric, and then there's like where you're going forward, and then there's like a vertical. This one's like vertical.
Okay,
It's shmup.
Yeah, shmup. It's a shmup.
gotcha.
Perfect.
And also for free on Epic Game Store, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
that's where.
free.
Yeah, that's where I
Yep.
picked it up.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, everybody's talking about this game, and I was like, but it's free on Epic, so I was like,
I
I'll
can't
grab
believe
it
they
there.
got it day one.
Yeah,
Epic's Game Store is better than Game Pass, I think.
Epic Game Store is insane, dude. I've got going on 250 games on there, and I've only ever bought one game on there. So that
Yep.
should tell you.
That's kind of the problem. That's why they ain't making no money.
Oh yeah,
Everybody go on
absolutely.
there claim the free shit, but nobody wants to.
Well, that's the
Nobody
irony
wants
is
to
I
pay for.
claim a bunch of the free stuff, but I literally only play. The only reason it's actually installed is because I play Fortnite through it. But like none of the other games are installed, but it's still fun to collect them.
Yeah, no, they said it's still not profitable. So
Absolutely not. But that's what's up, man. Um, Morgan, how are you, ma'am? And what have you been playing?
I'm good. I'm good. I have unfortunately fallen into the trap that I just knew I was gonna fall into and started replaying Death Stranding again.
Hey,
Oh
This
no.
it's
woman.
too early for that.
Hey,
This
man,
woman.
listen, man.
You
I
gotta start playing
couldn't.
that like beginning of next year.
I know. That's why I was trying to hold off,
You're
and
gonna
I was
end up
like,
being like, oh man, I don't remember what happened at the end. I gotta go
I
play it again.
know. I was just like, I wanted to wait for like an official date of the sequel or whatever, and then, you know, play it accordingly. But of course, I can never stop myself. So that's literally what I've been playing mostly. But before that, I did Platinum. Thank goodness you're here. The little indie game that I was telling you guys about last week, little comedy indie game. It was really short. It only took me maybe 4 hours to do. Um, and I think at one playthrough was only like 2.5 hours. Um, so I had to like play it twice, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was hilarious the entire time I played it. If y'all have time, it's a quick game. And if y'all like stupid ass comedy the way I do, you'll really enjoy this game. I was laughing the entire time playing it. Uh, but yeah, got the plat on that, and have been playing a little bit more of Kunitsugami. I'm still stuck on this one level, and I think I know what I have to do. Like I have to replay some earlier levels to get some of uh the gear I need to kind of level up um my villagers, but I just been putting it off. So I know what I need to do, but
Hmm.
I haven't done it. So yeah, that's just me right now. Game man just all over the place.
I
But
feel you.
yeah,
Yeah, it kind of feels the same for me. It's like I'm just kind of going whatever feels comfortable right now. Like it's just like
yeah.
yeah, nothing's really sticking like how we
Before
went crazy.
I feel like I'm doing this because I know like these next couple like these next couple weeks are about to kick off.
Hmm.
Like just to start the
The
pattern
onslaught of the
I
fall.
would have
of
agreed with you.
games.
I would have agreed with you if not you starting again freaking Death
Okay,
Stranding.
well
We're
I
not
don't
doing
need you
that.
to agree with me, so shush. All right, this is me. All right, thank you,
Yeah.
Omar, for your contribution. It's not needed, but I think that I'm doing this because I know that, like I said, the onslaught of games are coming, and I'm just like the way I don't know. I it's like when I know something important's coming up or something that requires my attention or like I'm about to be busy. I don't know. I like punish myself and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do something that like I know I should be doing one thing, but I'm gonna completely do the opposite just cause like I don't know. I like to piss myself off like that. I don't know why. Um. So yeah, I guess that's why I'm playing Death Stranding. It is what it is, but yeah.
No doubt. And then how did you pronounce it? Wait, what's the pronunciation for that game? Weeb, Signy. Is that what you said?
I think it's Signy.
Sigmund.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I see Henry was talking about it in the chat, but yeah, um, yeah. Like I said, that's been a one that's been hot out there from a bunch of people. But if I really like it on Epic like that, then yeah, I mean, I'll do the same and probably purchase it. But we'll see. I haven't been the biggest fan of those games. The only time I really got into anything that was like that, like the shooters like that, has been Super Stardust or whatever, and the other one that we mentioned earlier. Those have been like the only two. Oh, Resogun. Like those have been the only times I really got into them like that. But last but not least here,
I like those.
Mister.
I play like R Type and stuff like that. I really like.
Nah, no doubt. But yeah,
They're
like I
fun,
said,
especially if you get one that's co-op and you can play this one co-op. So
yeah, I didn't know that. It's that's probably not something that's gonna drive me to it, but uh, yeah, we'll see. But Omar, how are you, man? And what have you been playing, sir?
What up, everyone? I broke the cycle.
Yeah.
I beat Remnant 2 and I didn't stay long. I didn't get stuck in that gameplay loop where you beat it over and over again just to get the additional shit. Like, nah. One time, I'm done. I have other shit to play. So, I got the plat in not one, but two cat games. Cat Quest 1 and 2, which I already beat them, but that was on PC a long time ago. So, I gave them a proper beating this time. Well, a plus.
Pause.
Yeah,
Right.
what can I say? Amazing game. I'm so looking forward to 3. I already played the demo. The addition of dual sense is such a breath of fresh air. I can't wait to get back to it. Other than that, I might play. um z- uh that what we call it crime solving game that Morgan played a few weeks ago.
Nobody wants to
That
die.
Yeah, this one. I'm gonna cross list it, and while I'm waiting on Black Myth, Wukong, and what do you call it, the Mana game. Like it,
Oh, you're picking that up?
I am going to play them. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
No doubt.
Oh,
Well,
and
it's interesting to see
I
you focus.
finally got my own controller, which is the Astrobot DualSense.
So you finally
Now
got
let's
a
hope.
second controller for the first time since the PS5 launched. Finally. Congratulations.
You think that would be a priority?
You would think that, but this
I
is
never
Omar. Everything else is
before
a priority before, the actual
before
controller.
before I'm gonna say it before my DualSense start having what you call it.
Omar, you're supposed to get one before it starts acting up. It's called preemptive.
But I never
Uh,
had a drift.
Omar, that's not the point. The controller is
You
damn
never
near
had
4 years old now. You should have
Yeah, it's
already
the only
I
one.
invested.
never
It's the
had
only
any
one you're
issue
putting in
with
time
it.
into. So it's taking all like your battery,
Yeah,
your
you should have
analogs.
No,
Like you putting
but I,
thousands and thousands of hours. Everything has a limit. Like a car, like you buy it with 400,000 miles on it, the bitch gonna blow up. You know what I
yeah, Omar.
Eventually. Yeah.
mean?
but
Everything has a what do you want to call it? A threshold. You know what I mean?
that's the thing, though. My controller never died on me mid-game or something like that. Like I always
Okay,
make
okay,
sure
but
to
That's not
eventually
the
charge
that
it.
battery
point,
gonna start to
though,
go.
Omar.
The analogs are gonna start to go. Like
I
if you
get
ever get
it.
a
The point is you're supposed to buy it with two controllers. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I only had
Did you?
one.
Did you? See, you didn't get it because that was your excuse. I already had one, so you didn't get it. You didn't.
until you didn't have one.
Yeah, and mind you, I had told him a few weeks before his controller went bust to invest in the controller. And what he said, no, Morgan,
You did.
it's fine.
You
I'm
did.
gonna get Stellar
you
Blade.
always gotta have a
I said, all
backup.
right.
You drop the thing and it lands wrong on a toggle or something, like it's game over or something.
He ain't gonna listen to me. It's all right. He'll learn.
Right.
I mean, you ain't gotta
If
have
I had to
25 of them, but you should
compare
always have two
buying
minimum, two
dual
functional.
Stellar Blade for 40 or controller for 70, I'm gonna go for 40. Because as long my controller is working, it was fine. But then the drift started to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All controllers do that.
we
It
know
don't
how
matter
it
if you
is.
have Nintendo,
So at the end
Xbox,
of the
it's gonna
day,
happen.
the lesson we learned is Morgan is always right.
Yep.
No?
Yes.
Yes.
Because if you had gotten that controller, you would have been like, oh shit, my original got stick drift. Thanks, Morgan. I got the second controller, so it's all good now. I'd have been like,
He would have never missed a beat.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what's up. But at least you got the controller. Speaking of you getting the controller, shout out to me, myself, and I for reminding you that the controller went live.
Yeah, thank you about
Overseas.
this one.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
He better than me because I told him not to do
Oh.
that. I said, nah, let Omar figure it out.
Wow.
You just
You're
thank,
Nah,
that
you-
tacky.
thank
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Nathan.
I
you
see.
said you had it. You said I got it, Morgan. I'm all good. So I said, don't tell him.
No,
He
I
got
never.
it.
I said I'm gonna
Because
buy
Omar
it.
reminded me, and I thought,
never
wow, he
said
actually thought about it.
Yeah, no, he did. No, that was me.
Not being like, oh
You
man, okay,
lying.
Omar.
You lying son of a bitch.
I saw him.
You lying son
No,
of a bitch.
hey, wait. You
I saw him
forgot
think-
even, and I supported you. So sit down.
Yeah, but what's your idea, Omar? Come on.
Tony hard headed, man. Don't
Did
listen
you
to
get
me.
it
It's
or
alright.
not? Because of the link I sent you, share it with you. Sit down.
No, I saw it when he posted him getting it in chat, and you were like, "Give me the link, Omar," and I was like, Omar was like, "Yeah, I got you," and I was like,
Yeah. He was like, oh no, it's not live. Like, what the fuck, man? I thought this was in the morning. I'm like, I was like, the PlayStation website was sold out. Like, dude, fuck you, give me the link.
Absolutely.
Look, I am actually terrified if Vodacom doesn't come through with the controller. Like, I
Why wouldn't
didn't
they?
order it elsewhere because if sometimes what you call it, they don't get too much amount, and
I
there are
mean,
way too
they
many
just
It
have
is,
a
it
packages
habit of doing
is, it is
that.
originally.
possible.
I doubt
Well,
that would happen.
well,
Hey,
they did do that with my collector's edition of God of War. So
Damn.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I only pre-ordered it once,
Mhm.
and they already took my money. So it's either I'm
Oh
gonna get
man.
my money back, or
You know
I'm
what?
gonna
It,
get
sh-
the
it
controller.
should happen just so you can learn a lesson, a valuable lesson.
Nah, I think
Be
I
like,
think he'll be
listen,
all right though.
he ain't gets
yeah,
controller. See?
it,
Mhm.
it's it's a controller.
Yeah, they actually seem to have quite a few of them in stock. It's just the main issue seemed to be, at least on our side when they went live, was PlayStation Direct having a heart attack. That was the main
That's
issue over there.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah, I don't know. PlayStation got to get their shit together when it comes to that website. Hey, what's up, Warwana? But yeah, I mean, everybody got one that wanted one. So, I mean, that's what's up. Uh, Kay ended up getting one for Ardry, and
Nice.
uh, then Priscilla wanted one, so she got one too. So everybody that really wanted it got it. So everybody's all set with their controllers. As for me and what I'm playing, still working through Super Robot Wars. I finished T. I got the platinum for it. Now I'm working on X, which is phenomenal. So I want the platinum in every single Super Robot Wars. So that's what
oh
I'm
man,
currently working on. Yeah, I love the series. It's a lot of fun to play through.
But the gameplay
We're
changed.
pre Omar hot take Wara. He wanted
Oh,
to make sure if he was late or not, if we missed it, if you missed it.
oh yeah, no, it hasn't happened yet. But don't worry. We're gonna start with
The fact
that
that that's
topic.
become a segment for every show is hilarious.
Yeah, I know that's like one of War's favorite segments. So I made sure to give the intros enough time, before we get to that. But we starting with that, so it ain't gonna be long. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm playing through Super Robot Wars X now. Again, like I said, just phenomenal series. So I'm having a ball with that. Honestly, I'm really ready to get back and really push through for the platinum on Persona 3 Reload as well, because I essentially want to double plat that, go over the PS4 version and the PS5 version, because that game is really amazing, and they're about to launch their final piece of DLC, the answer for Reload. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to that and platinuming that. Um, really, that's honestly been it. Like other than that, like it's been like all Olympics right now. Like the Olympics has been crazy, uh, or been shopping for
It's
other
been
stuff.
depressing for us wrestling fans. Russia's out of the fucking Olympics this year, and we're still not winning gold.
Yeah,
We did
yeah,
we did better than before. It's been depressing, man. There's a couple guys I thought would win. Spencer Lee took silver. I thought he would win it. Aaron Brooks, who dominated David Taylor, who's multiple-time world and Olympic champion and all that. He lost. He took third.
yeah. If I took anything
Yeah,
away from this Olympics, it's that besides like the super ridiculous favorites, like a lot of the people that I saw getting named favorites did not win, or if they like they didn't even get. Some of them didn't even medal. Like the women's shot put, I don't think any of them even medaled, and we had like 3 or 4 people in that. Uh, there was a couple categories where we were like
been a lot of
really
upsets.
big, yeah, really big favorites. Yeah, like one of our biggest. I mean, Sha'Carri Richardson in the 100. Uh, she got silver, and it's just that race, that particular race, man. The girl just she was fast. It was an impressive run, and I mean the only cool thing that came out of that in that particular race was that it was the first medal ever for their country, and it happened to be gold. So she's the first medalist in their country ever, and it happened to be gold, which was crazy. So that's one for the history books for her. And Shakiri got her gold in the 4x100 and some other stuff. So she still got gold and some other things. So yeah, like you said, it's been some upsets though. It's been a very interesting Olympics as far as competition goes. But yeah,
Did you see the women's what do we call it, banana relay or baton relay or something? Those girls were fucking scorching, man.
oh, absolutely. Yeah, they actually
That was crazy.
they had to pan the camera out as wide as possible just to try and show you who was in second and third, and he could barely get it, and then they had to switch to the next camera. Yeah, they demolished them. Like it was insane. The women's track and field has been ridiculous. Yeah, those ladies have been carrying the track and field scene right now for USA. So yeah, shout out to them. But yeah. So
Very quick, shout out
what?
to uh, the other, what do you call it, sub. We're very close to 50 subs.
Yeah, no doubt. So first topic, because this was such a fun one for Omar. He was so excited to talk about this one. Because it led into a lot of other things that Omar had to say about this topic. So, Ready at Dawn is shutting down after Meta acquired them prior in order for them to develop for them in house. Um, and in lieu of that information, uh, it is now being stated that prior to them being bought out, the Order 1887 sequel was planned. We don't know the extent of that nature, but obviously, uh, I personally would have loved to see it. A lot of other people I know would have loved to see it.
Same.
Yeah, they really enjoyed it, like we've just said. I mean, I thought the game was great. Played it on hard, got the platinum in one run. I really, really enjoyed what they had. I wanted to see them expand on the world and what they could really do. So, I mean, hopefully they pick up that team and really work with them if possible. Um, Maybe not coming back as Ready at Dawn because obviously that studio is being shuttered, but I mean the talent is still there. The talent is essentially being let go, so you know they're going to be there. PlayStation owns the IP, so if they want to kind of revisit that, but we'll see what goes on with that. Uh, but I wanted to go to Omar because you had a lot to say about this the other day, about how you felt about not only what happened with Ready at Dawn, but how you felt that kind of had some other issues or leading into some other issues with PlayStation letting other talent go and some of their dormant IPs. So, how do you feel about this, Omar? How does this make you feel?
So, I never played the Order, so I can comment about the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
But
what?
what? I have always said that.
Oh, I don't remember that. You were fighting for this game so
No,
hard, like you played it.
I always stated that what you call it, um, radio, the Order 1886. I never played because I was listening to Metacritic,
Well,
and the
why the
only
hell are you
reason,
fighting so hard for this game if you ain't played it?
uh, because I am
This
all
is
about
okay. Well, this just destroys your whole argument because I thought you played it and you loved
how.
it. Because you
No,
were
I never.
arguing so hard about
No,
not
my
making a
argument
mistake, them
is
not
no. My
buying the
argument is
studio.
different. My argument is different. I'm gonna explain it with you.
Okay, go
Not
ahead.
really.
Go
My
ahead. Go
thing is
ahead, Omar.
this. My thing is this. I played the very first Uncharted, and that shit was trash.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that shit was terrible. Maybe you guys enjoyed it. Good on you. The first Uncharted was terrible, boring as fuck. But when you go from Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2, it's a it it's a total different experience. So with Red Dawn, but also other studios that PlayStation partner up with, um and then what you call it, you they don't acquire them. Like the growth is there. If like we already seen with Ready at Dawn, they had ideas how to improve on gameplay and whatsoever. And what do you see? I am the what confuses me the most is the rumor is that they had they started working or at least planning on the other 87. So my question is become, did PlayStation greenlit this, or did Radeon themselves who are doing it by themselves? Like,
Okay, okay. So let me correct
yeah,
something
but
because you seem to have a wrong idea of what was said. Essentially, what happened is when Ready at Dawn they got their new CEO. They were asked if they would like to continue working on the order and with PlayStation, right? Because they don't own the IP. They said they don't own the IP, and they would need PlayStation's permission to continue working on it. They said they would like to work on the order and make it a bigger franchise. Like they have ideas of how they want to expand it and make it into its own kind of universe, and that's something that they would like to do. Okay, I don't think they ever actually worked on anything or started on anything. It was just a wish, like they would like to continue and working and making a sequel for the game. So that's number one. They didn't work on it by themselves. They didn't work on it with PlayStation. I think it was just they were just asked if that's something that they would like to do in the future, and they said yes.
It's one of the options in the bowl of things to do in the.
Yeah, that was it. That's it. There wasn't no secret going behind PlayStation's back or no. It was just a
I
question
never.
that was asked. That's what you said in the chat. Don't do that.
You did say that in the chat.
Yeah, so don't try to retract now, Omar. I got receipts on you. So it wasn't none of that, like going behind their back and they're working on the game or they've went against PlayStation or going out and doing their own thing. It was literally just a wish. Like that was it. Number two, I get that you, for God knows whatever reason, you wanted them to buy it even though you didn't play the damn game. Um, you want them to buy the studio. But again, we got to remember it didn't really score that high. So honestly, I don't even know if PlayStation would have even greenlit a sequel.
I don't
if
think
Okay, I'm
it made
gonna
any
go
money
right
either.
now to Uncharted 1. What's its score sitting at?
I think you're about to be
Uncharted
sorely
1 made money.
disappointed because Uncharted 1 was phenomenal. So
And
yeah,
it made
Omar,
money too.
your opinion versus the reception of it is two completely different things. It made like an 88 on Metacritic, so I don't know why you're trying to put that on
And
the
it
same
sold
level.
millions of copies.
Yes, and then you're trying to put that on the same level as a game that scored like a 63. That's not. I don't know why you're
Damn,
doing
It
that.
sold a couple
that game
100,000
felt like a
copies.
70. My bad.
Okay, yeah,
Nah,
See,
it
No,
got
I
like a
see,
63.
genuinely not a
I swear,
fan
you
of.
be coming up here with arguments, and you're not ready. You don't have your paperwork ready, Omar. You gotta come ready with information, with facts. But yeah, I don't
That
like.
game did
I
not do well.
think
Period.
yeah. Until Dawn, not Until Dawn. Lord Jesus, the Order 1886. I loved it. A lot of people I know loved it, but unfortunately, it didn't score well, and we know
It didn't sell
how
well neither.
PlayStation is when games don't score a certain way or don't sell a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
They're very unlikely to greenlit a sequel, and then you asking on top of that for them to buy the studio. I think that's insane. They would have never done that. They would have. I don't.
Not
Maybe
after
they
that
would have
performance.
greenlit. Yeah, maybe they would have greenlit a sequel. I think we would have got lucky if they did that. Honestly.
I think if that would have done what we thought it would do, then I believe they would have ended up first party.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if it would have sold 5 million copies, they probably would have been bought a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Like I get people are upset. Like I would have absolutely loved a sequel to this game. I think the base was there. Everything
It was
there.
lacking. It was lacking in things, but
So-
they had half of the next game built already, and they just built
Yeah.
on top of that to make it better. Kind of like, you ever played Rise, Son of Rome? Like, that's not a bad game. It's just it's missing some shit.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
it was that's essentially what PlayStation and Xbox were doing. That was both of them had that game that was just not really. It was a showpiece.
It's not ready yet.
It was a showpiece.
Yeah, it was showpiece.
It's not ready yet. It's halfway to being a great game.
Yeah, the purpose of those games was just to show the difference between between PS3 and PS4 and Xbox 360 and Xbox One, like the graphics. That was the point of those games, were to show what
beautiful.
yeah, what these games
And they
or what
wanted
these.
them out. They wanted them out early in the gen, so they didn't get the time or whatever to work on to make it a great game.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
think, like I said, I think the world was cool. I love the aesthetic. I love the fact that we were, hunting and like we were the secret order hunting lichens and shit. Like that shit was cool. Like, and if it was like
it was amazing.
it was amazing. And if we had gotten a full blown game from that gameplay, bigger kind of wide linear type of game, almost like a Last of Us kind of style, like I think it would have been freaking fantastic.
Agreed.
But like I said, like it really sucks that Meta came through and bought them for God knows whatever reason. I think it was for the purpose of helping with their like VR and PC development is why they bought them.
Yeah, I think it was VR because I heard their last VR game did okay.
Yeah.
VR standards, anyways.
So I think Facebook was just shopping around for cheap studios that they could like acquire and get to help with that type of development.
Pretty much.
And Ready at Dawn was one of those studios, and so I guess any dreams or aspirations that studio had of working with PlayStation were probably put to the side because I'm sure Facebook assigned them their own duties that they had to do, and so they were not able to, work on a full blown game, even if they wanted to, probably. And now, as we know, it got shut down. Not surprisingly, because
they were mostly a support studio early on too, because they did like Ghost of Sparta and Chains of Olympus. They helped on those games. They were support studio to
PlayStation,
Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Santa Monica helped on Order 1886 too. They were like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They were a support studio.
It's just like, yeah. So then they were shut down. Not like I said, not surprisingly, because Facebook sucks. So and they don't really know what they're doing, especially with VR and stuff like that. So it's just, like I said, it sucks. But thankfully, I guess the silver line out of that is that PlayStation still owns the rights to the game.
Mm-hmm.
So if they decide they want to do something, which I highly doubt they will,
they're not gonna do anything with it.
yeah.
This is the same thing with Drive Club or whatsoever. Like, they make the game and then they let them die. They let IPs
Did they let them die, or does the people stop supporting them so they really don't see a point in?
Morgan,
Whoa.
what's his name? What's his name?
What's his name? I don't know.
Either Sean Layden or Shuei Ishida is on record saying before this new PlayStation that in the past PlayStation games that didn't sell well, they got sequels because other IPs, offset that. We're not getting that anymore.
Omar, we're in a new generation now. We can't, like, back then game cycles only used to take 2 to 3 years. Game cycles now, development cycles, it takes 6 to 7. You can't. There's no compensating for failures anymore. Everybody has to bring their A game. You can't. That's
you
why.
You can't spend 150 million on a game and hope for the best.
Yeah,
you can't do it in 6 years.
The budgets of games have gone like quadrupled in the past 10 to 12 years. You can't expect them to be okay with losing money on a game. At it's okay to have some losers because we got some winners. Like, no.
You can't afford a bunch of losers. Like GTA, what was it? Not Vice City. The one San Andreas cost $10 million to make. How much does GTA 6 cost to make? $2-3 billion.
They talk about it's a $1 billion game now.
Oh, it's more than that. It's more than that. There's over 5,000 people working on that game, so their paychecks.
Their
paychecks
crazy.
a year is probably $500 million a year to work on that goddamn game.
Gaming budgets have gone skyrocketed. So yes, and I agree with what you're saying. Obviously, it's right. They said it, back then, like I said, it didn't cost as much, and game development cycles weren't long. So it's okay to have a couple failures.
If you fail, you can try again and
you can try again in 2-3 years.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Now you gotta wait 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, I mean that's a big complaint from gamers, right? Like you get maybe 1-2 games from maybe a studio that you like if you're lucky, a generation, and people get upset. So imagine like a game company spending 4 or 5 years and then the game flops, everybody's gonna be mad because then they have to wait another 4 or 5 years for another game to come from that studio, and people were like, they could have made something else. The game wasn't good. What the hell? And now we have to wait. Like that doesn't work anymore. That's why more experimental games come from second and third party partners now, and the
China's
bigger,
perfect because the cost is so low that you can throw
yeah,
10, 20, $30 million out there and
the
get a AAA
bigger,
type game out there. But if you develop that in the United States, you're looking at 150, 200, $250 million. It's the
exactly,
same game.
the bigger AAA games and the ones that that bring in the money. That's the ones that they have first party concentrating on. So I get what you're saying, but it's a like a cost thing. They can't afford to do that. It be experimental like that anymore. It's just not gonna work. I
Or at
mean,
least not
like,
as much, rather.
yeah,
But yeah.
it's not that type of business plan doesn't, it's not effective in these generations. Like, Nintendo can get away with it because Nintendo has a console of the same power of a fucking 360 PS3. Like, so
Their
they,
games only cost 10 million, 20 million a
yeah,
piece now
exactly.
still.
And their
So you
games
don't mind this
aren't
method of
Their
doing things?
IPs are going to sell 3 to 5 million even if they're not any good. Let's be honest.
exactly.
You
You
said
So
said
they
you
what?
don't
don't
mind what?
mind this method of doing things that this shit doesn't irk you?
I'm getting the games I want. Why would it irk me?
Because you're not getting a sequel out of it.
What sequels am I not getting?
The Order?
I didn't
I
want
mean, it's a wish and it's cool that I would have absolutely loved it, and it sucks, but I'm not. It's not gonna ruin my day. Like, it's not like, oh fuck PlayStation. Like, it's
No,
just, oh well. Like, it is what it is.
my issue
Like,
is not fuck PlayStation. My issue is they should invest in a better concept. If yes, if uh if a cost for gaming have been expensive and stuff like that, why not build their own studios then and have them create these IPs? This way
Omar, they,
you
they they do have their own studios. What are you talking about?
no, I'm saying build additional studios, get additional studios.
You
And
need
What?
talent for
like
that.
for example, I doubt we will get a Kena too.
A what?
Kena or
Yeah,
Kena.
but that's
That's
not
up to that studio.
yeah,
That's
that's
not
not
up
their
to PlayStation.
studio. And they said they didn't want to be purchased. So you also have to
Yeah,
keep that in mind.
how is that on PlayStation if we don't get a Kena 2? That's on the creators of that franchise.
Yeah, that so to your point about some of these people they don't pick up at the time, or at the time in particular, they may not have wanted to be purchased. And also to the point at Ready at Dawn, them getting purchased out by Meta is ultimately an executive level decision, right? The people that develop the games and so on and so forth are not making that decision. That's a CEO level decision. And when you're talking about the kind of money that Meta was throwing around to purchase them and everyone else who they purchased at the time, PlayStation wouldn't have been, number one, in a position to make that move right then, and number two, they most likely would not have beaten the offer if there was one on the table at the time if they knew about it. This Meta Facebook money was super long at that point. They
Hmm.
were willing to invest, the amount they were investing in VR was ridiculous. So you got to take into account all those different
They
things.
have a much larger portion of people too because there's nothing tethered. You can just buy the device and you're done. It's not tethered to someone on PC or
Well,
PlayStation,
more so
Xbox, or
than
anything.
Meta, they don't have necessarily more users for Meta. What the problem is that Facebook is the company behind Meta. That's the issue, and Facebook has more people than any of these consoles, and that's where a lot of that money and that advertising is coming from. Their ability to again outspend, as was so famously stated by one of Xbox execs, they could really do that, right? And you flash enough money with the right terms at a lot of these execs, and they're going to sell the studio immediately. Um, but to your point about whether or not them investing in certain things, I think you're seeing a different approach to that, right? And you're seeing that for a reason. Morgan mentioned the longer development cycles and things of that nature. PlayStation, a big way around it, like she said, the second and third party investments that they're making are resulting in giving us games like Stellar Blade, like Rise of the Ronin, so on and so forth. And that's where you're going to see that investment go, while their other teams are making, these other major games the way that only PlayStation can make them. So they are investing in those when they can. Like I said, the stuff with Kana, they couldn't really do anything about that. That studio didn't really want to be purchased. They kind of wanted to do their own thing. But the studios that have wanted to work with them or continue to work with them, they have gone on to do so. And it's looking like something like the Stellar Blade studio. Shift Up is one of those studios that benefited tremendously from working with PlayStation and wants to continue and foster that relationship. It may not ever result in them becoming first party, but we've talked about the benefits of PlayStation fostering all these relationships in all these different places ahead of anyone else scouting talent in these areas, and we're literally getting games out of it. So we're getting, new games, new concepts, and stuff like that. So I think PlayStation is just finding a way to get around, needing to invest entirely in a fully owned studio, and they're recognizing the talent that's out there, and that's what's getting us some of these other games, like the
Yeah.
Where the Wind Meets from the China Hero Project, and a bunch of other stuff that's coming from China Hero Project. You guys famously love Fist. Some of you guys that have played Fist, that was really big.
One of the best games ever made.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
people loved Fist. And again, China Hero Project, right? Like, it's not exclusive, but it was for a time. And again, that was something that they fostered and got to us. That was a concept that I know you love, number one, because it's a Metroidvania style. Uh, so that's where I think you're going to see that. But you are, in fact, going to see PlayStation. They're not going to play around with older franchises or things that we're just going to have to accept that some of these games that they put out are, they're a single, and people who know, when it comes to music, some people just release a single. It's a hot single for the summer, and that's all it was. And that's what it is with
Yeah.
Drive Club.
Not
Some
everything
of that stuff.
needs a sequel. Not everything, calls for a sequel. It just depends. It depends on what it is.
But the
Mm-hmm.
Order definitely could have used a sequel.
Agreed.
Yeah, it
Agreed.
definitely could have used it. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, so we don't
But
disagree with you that we wanted one, but we're just saying we understand
If they were gonna
the
make one though,
sequence
it would
of
have been better
events.
off to do it right after fucking the first one
Yeah,
came out, where all the groundwork was built for
that
it.
ship has sailed.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
done.
basically over at this point.
It's too old. You'd have
Yeah.
to rebuild the engine, rebuild the game.
yeah, I don't even know who
No,
they give
no,
it to.
no. Hold up.
Oh,
They
here you go.
don't need to rebuild the engine whatsoever. They actually uh, put so much time into the engine. The engine is ready. All they need is to greenlit.
Now,
That's
how you
it.
know that?
I don't.
It's
They,
literally mentioned.
It's just 15 years old now.
yeah, I mean, I think
Oh,
they
look,
would.
Yeah.
I think they would use something like the Decima engine at this point. To
here
be honest.
it was Shinobi touched upon it.
And when was this?
Give me a second. I'm gonna look it up for you.
Oh God.
2015.
Yeah, I'm about to
I
say when
think.
was the interview? Oh my,
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that. Nah, Omar, come on.
What? It's
Another L.
literally. So I'm not supposed to comment on what he literally stated.
No, we said when did he state this? Like what year?
It's literally 3 days ago.
Oh,
No,
where's
not
the article?
Give
him.
me a second. I'm looking it up right now.
When did they state they were going to make a sequel? Because I can not imagine that they planned that yesterday. That was
Yeah,
probably right after the first game released.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Shinobi is reiterating the info from that time, not a current statement, because there's no way.
yeah.
Yeah, like they're not actively working on that. They don't even use that engine right now. So, yeah, that would be weird if that was just randomly ready to go.
Was that a particular engine, by the way, or was it just Unreal?
I'll have to check, but it did look very Unreal.
But yeah, Look, it doesn't matter. I mean, but absolutely, I don't think Omar read that correctly. That they had it ready or anything.
Oh,
No,
It
that
was the
game.
Rad engine
yeah, I see it. Rad Engine 4.0.
that hasn't been used in years. I
Yeah,
don't
I was
think.
about to say that's a
Uh,
dead engine. So yeah, it's definitely
Yeah, it
not
was
ready.
Ready at Dawn engine. Yeah, it was the one they used for a few things.
But yeah, so yeah, I
yeah,
mean, ultimately, like yeah, I mean, of course, we're going to get games that sometimes we wish there were sequels of. Sometimes we're going to get sequels of games we don't really care for, but ultimately, uh, we do have to accept, right? Like I even purchased the Order 1886 when it was $10. Like I'm not acting like I was day one. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah, same.
Oh,
Yeah,
they used that same engine for Lone Echo too. If that was a VR game, So
Here, this is why I said what I said, and yes, sadly, there is no what you call it information on when this happened. So he
that's
said,
what I'm
Like we
telling
and
you.
this
said,
is
like we
Shinobi.
said.
No, but listen though, this is Shinobi. He said, from what I knew, they had awesome
So
plans
new.
in, in plans for a sequel to the
they
Order
have plans.
before Meta
Okay.
got them.
He's
With the
speaking in.
engine already in place, which took up a ton of time and resources in the first one.
He's
So
speaking in the
basically,
past tense, Omar. He
that
said he
engine was
knew.
ready.
He
Yeah,
said
that's
he
years
knew
ago
of
though.
what he knew.
Yeah,
So that's past tense. That means years ago, Omar. From like that's not present.
Yeah, they
but
were
this
purchased by Meta
conversation
a
is
long time ago.
the conversation that I'm having right now is before Meta bought them. That's
Did,
why I'm
do you
like,
have any idea when Meta bought them?
mm,
It's been years. Like it
I
wasn't
am
yesterday.
aware. I
yeah, they
am.
bought him like 2 3
But
years
you
ago.
guys, we're having a conversation of what could have
Yeah,
been.
wait. You're not getting it though. You keep harping on this whole it's ready thing. It is currently not ready this generation. It is not a current generation system. It was not ready for PS5. That's
If it was
not.
gonna be done, it should have came out at the end of the PS4 generation.
Yeah, that would have
Like,
been around
period.
the time they would have done it. That's the only thing we're telling you is that they are not speaking in a current manner that hey, you could just scoop up the whole Ready at Dawn team and we're ready to start work on the Order 1887 tomorrow. Like they're not ready like
Yeah.
that. That was back then. That's all we're telling you.
Okay, got you. It's just frustrating.
I mean, I get it.
I need you to actually play it before you get frustrated. Like
No, I'm
you are
Well,
fighting
no,
frustrated.
I
for this
mean,
No,
game
I'm frust.
so
No,
hard,
no, he's
and you didn't
frustrated
even
for the
I'm
play
other
it.
thing. He's
no,
talking
I'm
about the
frustrated.
IP stuff.
I beat Sackboy though. This
What's that
What
could
got to
does
have
do
it
with
have
it?
to do with anything?
What does Sackboy got to do with
No,
this?
remember he
because
no, because
the-
he's talking about the
because
IPs that are
Sumo
dying.
Digital is normal for play with PlayStation. That's one. This whole conversation is not just about radio song. It's about
Sackboy
every.
came out at the beginning of the generation, though. It got a new game.
Yeah, what are
Sorry,
you
what
talking
did you
about?
say?
Sackboy got a new game in 2020 at the beginning of the PS5 generation. So what are you talking about?
Yes,
And it
it was
sold
the
like
one.
shit. It was a pretty good game. I haven't
It
finished it,
was
but
an
I put
amazing
quite a bit.
game
It's a good game.
So I mean, but why'd you use that as an example when it got a new game?
because the game is dead. We're not getting a new one
But wait,
How do you wait a minute? You why do you think we're not getting a new one? What made you? Did they say that? Like you're making an
because
assumption.
I don't
Sumo
think they're getting a new one just because it didn't sell. But
because
that's me.
Sumo is no longer with PlayStation, or
Sumo
rather, not
has
working
Sumo,
with
never been a
Sumo's
PlayStation.
never with
Sumo has
PlayStation.
never been with PlayStation. What are you
They're
No,
a
talking about?
contract
no,
company,
I
my
said
guy.
they're not working with PlayStation.
Omar,
Yeah,
they
but
work with everybody. What are you talking about?
Yes, Sumo
Omar
made Sumo made
Sackboy
what do you
is a
call it?
PlayStation IP, and Sumo did not develop that IP originally. They were given that IP to make Sackboy Adventures. There was Media
Sumo made Crackdown
Molecule
2,
who
Crackdown 3
made
too.
the Sackboy game. So that your assertion makes no sense. They can gift it to anybody basically if they're willing to give it to Sumo. Doesn't matter. Anybody can develop it.
Yeah, I'm confused at what you're talking because they made
Yeah.
Crackdown 3. Like
Yeah, they
they've
made
worked with
Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
everybody.
We're
they're
not
not
gonna
a.
be reminded with Crackdown 3.
You can just go find some other second party company
But I
and be
know
like,
they
hey,
made
you
that.
just
But
make this.
but yeah, they're a second party company, so they work with anybody. It's not they're not a PlayStation only company, so I'm not really sure what that argument is. And there's been no talks of not having another Sackboy, so I'm not sure where you got that from either. Um, but
I mean,
yeah,
with how Tencent is acting, I think
I
Tencent.
think one of these China companies would be a great fit
Tencent
for
doesn't
one of those
care
Sackboy.
who they develop. They just want money.
Yeah, they definitely do not care.
Yeah.
They don't care who they make the game for. They don't have
Well,
a
Who's gonna
personal
publish our
grudge.
shit?
I
Like, we need
I
work.
think that
We need funds.
the general problem is, Omar, that you're so easy to conflate things that you say, okay, yeah, ready at dawn, close down, we're never going to get an order sequel, and you're taking that. Oh, that's an example that PlayStation is not developing new games based on existing IPs. And look at Sackboy, which we actually got, a new game this generation. And guess what? Like, we also only had one Ratchet and Clank game this generation. That doesn't mean the
Hmm.
Ratchet and Clank game IP is dead. Because, in fact, we know that they're working on another one. So it's a ridiculous argument. And the fact is, like, just because you have an IP, it doesn't mean you have to use it. Some IPs are, dead. Like, take Jack and Daxter. Like Naughty Dog has no intention to continue developing that IP, and we don't want them to, because that's in the past. That's done, right?
Hmm.
Like, the thing is, like, these personal opinion, but I always thought these games were overrated because I didn't enjoy them after after the first one, which is basically just a typical platform game. Um, yeah, so I'm not really, I don't really call it a loss that they're not developing. Like, that's not no longer the strength of Naughty Dog. Like, they moved on. They moved on to these hyper realistic, narrative-driven games like The Last of Us and like Uncharted. Like,
Yeah, it
let
don't
them
mean they don't
develop
find a
some.
partner that might be good at making something like that and make a Jack and
Yeah,
Dexter someday. But
yeah, sure. You can do that, but like, don't force your developers who have
Yeah, they've
evolved
moved
their
on.
skills and
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah,
don't do that
Exactly.
no
exactly.
more. That's not their skill set no more. Like,
That's what Xbox would do, right? That's what they keep on
exactly.
developing, milking their IPs and force them to make the same game over and over again, even if they want to move on, because they know, yeah, well, no, people buy our console because they want to play, the IPs that they know. They don't want to see new shit.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
I would love to see the coalition do something different. I'm sure they'd love to
Hmm.
do something different, but
I was hoping that they would show something different. I mean,
I know, me
Gears,
too.
the
Everyone was like,
Gears
"Oh
looks
my
good.
god, a new
yeah,
Gears!" It's like, God damn it, a new Gears.
Yeah, Gears E-Day, it looks good, but I was kind of hoping. I
Yeah,
mean, they're a talented studio. I was kind of hoping they'd branch out and do a new IP. But
yeah.
yeah,
yeah, like
it's kind of the best we can hope for. Yeah, that
I was hoping they
they're
make
making
like
a
a Judge
prequel.
Dredd. I heard rumors of a Judge
oh,
Dredd game,
that
and
would
I'm
be
like, man, I would
so
have loved that
fucking
shit.
good. Judge Dredd, that would have been. Oh man, that's a good IP.
That's why I'm excited for Space Marine. I'm like, this is where I thought Gears of War would be by it now, but they've regressed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's what
I'm
I
all.
see when I see Space Marine is like, I thought, with the new technology and shit, like playing like Gears 2 or something, Gears of War 2
Mhm.
or something. I was like, this is what Gears of War is gonna be in 15 years, but it's just gotten worse.
Yeah, listen, I'm all a fan. Like I love you know like PlayStation Studios. They have a rich history of IPs. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of them with Astro Bot. We're gonna see a lot of throwbacks and stuff. But
Hmm.
I'm never a proponent for having a studio continually make an IP just because I like it. Like if let's say Naughty Dog, like I enjoy Jack and Dexter, but I can't imagine if they were still making Jack and Dexter, we would have never got Uncharted. We would have never got The
Yeah.
Last of Us. You know, if Sucker Punch was still making, Sly Cooper,
We wouldn't get no Ghost.
we would never got Infamous. If they had never
If
stopped
they were still
Infamous, we
making
would never
Infamous,
got
we wouldn't got
Ghost.
no Ghost. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I love
like
Ghost.
we have to let these developers. It's okay for them to put IPs on the shelves because
To,
we
to,
have
to
to
be
let
fair,
them evolve.
to be
Otherwise, you
fair,
get tired of them. It's kind of like,
Morgan, you lost the argument when you mentioned Infamous.
Oh
Full enough.
man.
I'd love
Blanked
to
out
see a
What
new
do you
Infamous.
mean that
Infamous,
you
but you
make
know
another
what?
Infamous?
When Ghost came out, like
Tokyo
Infamous,
Wave.
Infamous is something that needs like a 10-year break, anyways. I
No,
think.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But because you gotta give it that, so they actually have time to build up these creative thought processes and these new things, so that when they do inevitably bring something back like Infamous,
it's actually way different. It's
way
really
different.
evolved. It's
Yeah.
not just an iteration no more.
Exactly.
Yep.
Facts. Facts.
So
And like,
by that
Like God
so
of
by
War,
that
I would be
definition,
cool with
so
when they
hold
send
up.
another God of War for
By
like
that
8 to 10
definition,
years.
no.
listen, I love. Look, The Last of Us is one of my favorite franchises of all time. But
Oh,
when
sorry, they
Naughty
didn't hear
Dog,
us. Or they didn't
oh
hear
wait,
me.
who didn't?
They didn't hear me. Rather, they didn't hear me. Rather,
Okay.
I apologize. So let me correct that real quick, because
What?
I was accidentally on mute. But I was telling
Oh.
Omar, no, Jack and Dexter and Sly Cooper do not have the same potential to evolve that a game like
I wasn't
that
even
a
gonna
game
talk
like
about
Infamous
them.
does. No,
Listen.
but you were saying by
You can
that
do
same
some wild shit
thing.
with the right
No.
technology and dude.
Yeah,
Let me just say
Infamous
this.
could go
Let me just say
crazy.
this. I love Last of Us is one of my favorite series of all time. But when I saw that tweet from Naughty Dog that says they're working on 3 new IPs, I about shit myself because I was like, yes. I would have loved a Last of Us 3, but they're a talented studio, so why would I not want them to make a new IP for me to fall in love with? Like, I can't wait to see what this new IP is that they're making. So absolutely, put The Last of Us on the shelf. It's fine. I have no problem with that. Make
Come
something
back
new.
into it in 10
Give
to
us
12
something
years.
new. Like, yeah, whatever you
Make
want.
people hungry for it
I'm
again.
here.
You know
If
what I
it's
mean?
not,
Like,
it's cool. Like, I'm good with that. I'm Gucci. Like, make something new, wow me again, make the goosebumps pop up my arms like you did when I saw The Last of Us for the first time. I'm all for that. Like, I think talented studios should continuously make new IPs. That's what I want. Like, I wouldn't want them to waste their time milking an IP for 20 plus years just because I happen to like it. No, make
So
something
then
new.
the question is, what is the right amount of sequel for an IP before moving
3 to
on?
5.
Whatever they deem that when
Depends.
they finish their story. When
Yeah,
they
you
finish
have
their
to
story.
you can like, I mean, it's like anything else, right? In the creative process, you
Like,
can
look if God of
you
War
can
went
feel
to
it.
have that long development cycle on the God of War 2018, and if it would have just been another iteration, it would not have hit like.
Yeah, and I mean, I talked about that, right? Like, you have to know from a studio standpoint, when is
Well,
your
hold up.
creative process suffering.
You're gonna get crucified for this comment. Cause
Oh, let me guess. He's saying something Omar agrees with.
I don't want a Ghost of Tsushima 2 right now. Too early for it.
No,
I do.
wait, hold up.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yep.
I'm not gonna do that one. Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
Yep.
What?
Yep. Yep.
No. I'm
Yep.
asking, what do you mean by that? Elaborate.
I mean, I want them to work on something else and
You
then
want them to work on Infamous? Shut up. Exactly. Shut up. You want them to work on Infamous? That's what that is.
Either Infamous or a new IP.
So
And
no,
then the
It's
next
a new IP. They
generation
just
get.
came out.
He Infamous. Like I said. Like
so
I fucking
wait.
said.
So look.
I
So look.
said either
You
Infamous
asked a
or a new
question though.
IP.
No.
You said when do they know, right? That, like, okay, we can all tell when something has gotten quote unquote long in the
Stale.
tooth, right? Yeah, it's gotten
And stale.
stale.
Yeah.
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 This man done got 4 Infamous games and want another one.
Yeah,
They should work on Infamous.
Like, look at Halo.
stand
Look at
this
Halo,
man.
right? They spent the entire time trying to rescue Halo Infinite, right? It's not about some of the homies enjoying it here and there for the PvP or this and that, right? Like, Halo used to have an epic campaign that did something. Like, I'm talking, like, you're talking about a game that used to shut down Times Square, New York, like, entirely. Like, the game was so big, whether you liked it or not, you heard about it, and the world went crazy about it. It's like, that's what I'm talking about.
Them days have passed.
Yeah, when you stop being able to produce it at that level, that's when you know you either need to take a break or you need to reinvent it. And again, this is something I've said that people take for granted, what Sony Santa Monica did with God of War, because
God of War.
to reinvent a franchise and have it be accepted that way and sell that way and be such a phenomenal turnaround for a reboot is not easy. Like that's the problem they're going through, right? Like, again, like we all said, Gears E-Day looks good, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like, again, I wanted more from Gears. I wanted to see something
I
Gears
mean,
had never done.
apparently they're going now horror with it.
I mean,
Anyway.
Psychological
yeah,
horror.
that's atmospheric stuff. But either way, you get what we're
No,
saying.
gameplay wise too.
Yeah, I know, but
Apparently.
it's still gonna
Well,
play
you
like
ain't seen no
Gears.
gameplay, so
Again,
that's
if you
all
want
speculative.
complete
I think it'll be
overhaul.
very much what the
Yeah.
fuck you've played the last 20 years.
Yeah, it's still gonna be the same stuff, and like that studio is very like Morgan said earlier. That studio is talented, and we love to see what they're really capable of.
Listen,
So-
anyway, we're not about to gloss over the fact that Omar just wants another Infamous. Okay, this is what this is all about.
No,
Okay, this is what this goes
literally-
all
no,
into.
I
This
literally
man
said-
wants another Infamous from
Infamous, what a
Sucker
new IP.
fucking
I really would
Punch.
like to see Sucker Punch get a second studio. That's what they
I
they
said Infamous
put a lot
or a
of,
new
lot of
IP.
resources into growing a lot of these
Or a
studios.
Vice like
but
Cooper.
They
Omar,
just came
they-
out with a new IP.
Omar,
can't-
they
you're not
don't
gonna just keep making-
need. They don't. Why do they need another Infamous though? Why you keep including Infamous in there? Infamous' story is done. Why you keep wanting another Infamous?
Because a lot.
Because you want it. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason.
No,
you
because
like
we have
Infamous
new
and you want it.
technology. Like
Omar, the
dual
story is
implement-
done, bro.
How do you know?
because they said it. They said it. They
I
were
mean,
just
they
like,
did-
we don't
they-
feel,
yeah.
we're not gonna make it right now. That they don't have a story to tell. You just want them to put something together just because you want it.
Yeah, you don't want to. Again, you do not want to force the creative process because again, that is what you get these bad sequels.
He
or
said,
these
"Listen,
drained
we got 4
franchises.
But that's why I
Infamouses.
said.
Yeah,
I
even
want
like
another
Second
one.
Son, the
I
I don't
gameplay
even.
Second Son.
What does
that
too
protagonist
soon?
sucked.
What does too soon for Ghost of Tsushima even mean? That don't even make sense.
No, I don't. Yeah, I disagree with Wara on that one, and I rarely disagree with Wara. It is not too soon for. It's time for Ghost. Ghost 2.
Yeah, I don't.
does
What
perfectly.
does that mean? Too soon for Ghost of Tsushima? Like,
Yeah.
look, I bet he wasn't saying that for
Soon as it's
Horizon.
done-
Oh, it's too soon for Horizon Forbidden West. I bet you wasn't saying that. It's too soon. Like when the Infamous 1 came out, I bet you weren't saying it's too soon for
No,
Infamous 2.
Wara said that. Wara
Yes,
said that.
but Omar agreed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
always said it.
yeah.
Yes. Well,
Now
did you
we
say that
both
with
have said it.
Horizon? Did you say it was too soon for Horizon Forbidden West when it came out?
Yeah, I
No, you
said it.
didn't, lying ass. No, you did not.
You
What?
did not. I don't
How
know.
do-
did
how
not.
am I
When there's
lying
only
now?
one game,
Fucking
it's like
liar.
after 3, 4, 5 games, then you
Omar,
need a break.
I
Like,
have
wanted
not
it,
heard
but I
say that
wanted
once.
again. I wanted something else
You
before.
didn't say that
You definitely
once.
did
I
not
have
say
that.
never
I
heard
did.
you say that.
I said it with God of War, and I said it with Horizon. I have always been.
Omar, I have never heard you
story's not
say
even done yet,
Horizon
like-
Forbidden West came out too soon. You never
I
said that
was
to any of us.
excited when we
I
seen
want
it.
Horizon
Yes,
3.
I
I don't
was
want no new
excited.
shit or whatever. Once you finish
But
that, then
I
you can work on
said
something
I
else.
want
But
them to work on something else and have that shit be next gen or next gen. Like I wanted. Like my thing is, and
You just
this
wanted
is-
it to be PS5 only. That's not the same.
No.
Yeah.
I said two things. It being PS5 and also just having something else first. But my thing is this, an studio should be able to rotate between two IPs. I think that's enough.
They gotta have the IPs to rotate between.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah,
like
easier said than done. It takes 300, 400 people to make one
between-
Yeah,
goddamn
I mean,
game right now.
he think developers fall from the sky. Money
Yeah, I
falls from
know,
the sky,
right?
apparently.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
look,
every studio should have 1,000 employees. Like what?
was it beautiful to watch them go between Uncharted and The Last of Us? Absolutely. Do I expect everyone to have that exact same cadence? No. Like
Yeah,
each
they used to have
studio is
100 people on
different.
a team now. Now they got fucking 300,
Yeah,
400
each
people
studio
on
is
one
vastly
team.
different. You're talking about Naughty Dog expanding to 2 and even 3 teams at one point. So, like, I don't expect everybody to.
There's
to
more
push that
people per
either.
each one of those teams than they had total before when they were making 3 games. Like,
Yeah. So the reality is,
See,
the
War
moral-
said he just don't want to ever. See, he's different. He just don't want to go.
Yeah, he just don't want to go.
See, nah. I'm not even gonna comment on that.
The moral of this story ultimately
just want Ghost, fuck the rest.
for you, Omar, though, is that there's a lot of nuance to this. Is all we're really saying.
Omar's
But-
problem is he lives in the past and he wants to stay in the past.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't ever want an Infamous in my entire life. No, but maybe PS6 And when they actually got something to show for it, and it's actually going to blow my mind, and it's actually going to be some new shit that's going to just be completely worth the wait, absolutely. Like when it is, God of War 2018 reveal level type shit, and I'm going crazy and jumping out the roof, yeah, that's what I want from them when they bring that back. So when they ready to do that, they can bring it back. But right now, like I said, they need to get their ass on that Ghost 2 because they set it up that way, and that's their fault. So they need to get that going.
I'm about to say that they definitely left that game on a cliffhanger, so it needs a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, they set up the new enemy and everything. So, but yeah, like I said, it's just a nuance to it. All these different things going on behind the scenes. They said some people they might have wanted to acquire, like I said, might not be for sale. This, that, and the third. Like it's complicated. It sucks because it causes us to lose out on games that we might have wanted or that we wish they could have worked with longer. And I mean that's just the reality of the nature of the business ultimately.
Yeah, I think the lesson we learned here is if Omar ran PlayStation, we wouldn't have got past PS3.
FYI, Omar, they're talking in one of my chats. They love listening to you because you take L's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Bruh, Omar is a large entertainment factor.
He's an L machine. He should be an Xbox fan.
Man,
Omar
gonna
get tired of us one day. Omar gonna get tired of us one day, bro. He gonna go postal in this damn chat, man. Fuck everybody up in here.
Hey, look, you stood 10 toes. I give you that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you that. But,
he's hanging out too much with these Xbots at these other podcasts.
That's what I'm saying. They rubbing off on him. We're trying to heal Omar. Y'all. We're trying to help him. He's not listening though, but it's okay. We still love him though.
But speaking of Xbox, that is the perfect segue to our next coverage, which is Xbox delaying Avowed, stating it was so that
they got too much to eat over there.
Can have time in order to play their backlog and all the games they've got coming out. Because, all those release dates that we have for all their games are just, running us over out here. No release dates. So, the reality of this question is ultimately, do you believe this bullshit or do you think they're telling the truth? Nelson.
Bullshit. Not to mention, look at most of the games they got coming out in the fall, and they do have a lot of games coming out. They're fucking PC-only games, too. They ain't even for fucking Xbox. I can't even remember the name of this shit, but they're mostly like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Age of Mythology. It's all.
I was gonna say Age of Mythology. I know me and Weeb are excited for it, so yeah.
There's a couple of those, yeah. That was a good studio until Microsoft bought them too. But
good old Flight Simulator 2024.
Yeah, right. Who the fuck's playing that? Come on, man. There's a couple other ones too that are
like PC.
I don't remember the name.
There are some more PC.
They're just only PC. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. You ain't none. I'm looking at the list like, okay, Indiana Jones,
maybe
Call of Duty, of course, and the rest of it you don't give a flying fuck about. Don't even lie to me. Stop lying.
Yeah, man, that whole statement had me dying. I was like, they delayed it for what exactly? I was wow.
So the better question is what excuse are they going to use when they're going to announce that Indiana Jones is delayed?
Right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that too. Like they ain't got no date. They've shown the same gameplay for like 2 years. Like, are you ever gonna show this game? Like, hell no. Like, no, we.
Right?
Yeah, they already said they're not going to show any new gameplay at the Gamescom.
They did not.
When are they going to show it?
No way.
Wait, they did? What?
Oh my god.
I think they did, yeah.
Oh.
So when are they going to show it?
That game's gonna be a shit show. I just know it. Like they hiding the fuck out of that game.
I thought that was the purpose of it being at Gamescom was to show like a new gameplay clip or something.
Right.
That's crazy.
They're gonna release it then at the 31st of December.
Bruh, they better not.
That good old
Nah, it's gonna be next.
They went from an amazing showcase to what they are right now with this one.
Well, again, this has been the problem is we
That's been the problem. Their showcases are not their issues.
And no delivery.
They show a game, but when they deliver it, it ain't nothing like you expected. and it ain't no damn good. So I don't give a fuck how good your trailer is. What am I gonna get at the end of the day? And it's never good over there. I'm not gonna lie.
As a modern day game scholar, crap gamer used to say, smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it really
essentially,
is. That's that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
the magic show was lit, but the substance afterwards was nothing. Yeah, it's definitely sounding like some bullshit. From what we're seeing so far, I mean, they really don't have an an incredible
They've
amount
shown the
lined up.
same whip animation and the fucking. You know what I mean? Like, is
Yeah,
that
for
all you're
Indiana
gonna show? Is
Jones.
these three same animations over and over? Like, what do you do during the game? The
Yeah,
cutscenes look
they
good, but
definitely need
what are
to
you
line
doing?
that up some more.
I have no
Yeah,
idea what the combat in this game's look like.
very
You see him shooting a
interesting.
pistol, you see him whipping a dude around the neck, bringing him into you, and is that it? Is that the game? Is that my options? Like, when you see the fist fighting, right? Which
I
didn't
honestly
look very
think
good.
Avowed still needed some time to cook. Like I know they
Yes.
That game
saying
looked boo boo as fuck.
Yes.
that it was close and they got most of it together, but I still think I don't know. Every time I see it, it just looks a little wonky. It looks a little just just the animations don't look as tight
Not
as they
done.
should
That game
be.
looks like it needs another year and 3 months,
Yeah.
not 3
And
months. It
then
needs to
you
be.
have what is it, Dragon Age Inquisition coming out around the same
Yeah.
time
Mm-hmm.
that was supposed to, like, and it's also a RPG with the mythological kind of stuff, and it's just like they're kind of in the same realm, obviously not as far as quality goes, but kind of in the same genre-ish. And so I think they wanted to take a wide berth from that game because they just knew if we have that Dragon Age and Avowed coming around the same time, people are gonna pick Dragon Age, even if Avowed's on Game Pass, that probably incentivized people to wait even longer to play it. They'd be like, oh well, it's on Game Pass, I'll play Avowed later. I'm gonna pick up Dragon Age right now and play that first. So I
Mm-hmm.
think they wanted to take a wide berth from that game, and also I think this is a ploy to keep people subscribed, right? If you got
Absolutely.
everything coming out the last few months, what are people gonna do? They're gonna say subscribe through September or October or whatever to December, and then unsubscribe. So this will keep people subscribed, longer, right? Because it's supposed to be coming out in February now. So just in time for the the quarterly numbers, you know, right there in February when the end of the first quarter or whatever, or beginning of the first quarter starts. So it'd be good for numbers,
Yeah, trying to
So
line it up with the Call of Duty boost.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think there was definitely many avenues played for this, and I think giving your backlog a breather was one of the last things that they were thinking about when they decided to delay this game.
Exactly. I wish they would be honest about it. That's the
Yeah,
thing. Is it's like
I'm
We
not a
just
fan
we
of
want
how
we
they
want
labeled that.
yeah.
we want you to be fucking subscribed until next year. We don't want you just going in
Like,
November playing everything and shooting. That just
it's
just pay what it
like
is.
they've released so far one first party game. So Xbox, truthfully, I think people have been, going at their backlog heavy for you guys the first 7-8 months of this year. That's all they've been really playing, backlogs and third party games. So I think the backlog's covered for them. You should focus on just releasing your first party content. You trying to give people a
Please.
breather. All they've been
Please.
Yeah,
having is a
what are
breather.
Xbox released to talk shit like that?
Yeah,
Like,
all they've had is a breather to get on their backlog. So I don't really know why you say that in a tweet. Like you said that like you've been releasing 5-6 games, so hey, we're gonna give you
They
guys a
got a
yeah,
breather.
5-hour game to play this year. That's it.
Woo! Take up that time. You might want to space Hellblade 2 out, man. It's a big one. It's just like
a tech demo, a 3-hour tech demo, 5-hour tech demo.
it's just like Xbox. They can't read the room sometimes, and it's just like, all right, like again, and I think especially saying that when none of your first parties besides I think Call of Duty have a release date is some crazy shit to say. Like, but then you finally give a release date to the game that you delayed for 6 months. So the game that's coming out in 2025 has a release date, but none of your 2024 games have a release date. How does that work? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
Dude,
okay,
Shattered Space don't even have a release date yet.
we
They
ain't got
have a
Shattered
release date for
Space.
nothing.
no Indiana Jones, no. Well, I
Avowed
guess
didn't have one until it came till next
yeah,
year.
Val didn't have one till then. It's just like I
None
don't
of you
know.
shit.
Flight Sim
Towerborn ain't
doesn't
got
have
no.
one. I don't think.
Towerborn don't have one. Flight Sim. They don't have no dates for nothing. Let's just fucking keep it quick.
Yeah, they really don't. No.
It's just I mean, and it's like, they, like I said, Xbox, extremists love to talk crap about PlayStation, but PlayStation has released games and their next first party game has a date, Astrobot, for September. So it's just, again, I guess maybe at Gamescom, maybe that'll be the time when we get official dates. So they're going to give the official trailers and they'll be like, October 27th, whatever for these dates are. Hopefully, that's what I hope. Because if they don't release these dates at Gamescom, I'm just gonna be scratching my head like, okay, I guess we're still waiting. I'm with Weeb on this. Like, I just feel something in the back of my head is just like Indiana Jones is gonna get delayed. Like, I
You
I don't know
think
what it is.
but I thought it looked so amazing. It doesn't need a delay.
Oh shit, you gonna have to
They
talk to them
ain't
Xbox
showed
fans
no
about that.
gameplay on that damn game.
Like, I'm all
Cutscenes look
for
ready.
it because I'm a
Have you
big
not
machine.
seen that whip gameplay? That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Look,
Some of the best.
I'm excited. I'm excited just because I like machine games and I like the Wolfenstein series and
I like
I
the
like what they do
Wolfenstein
with
games.
that. So I'm hopeful that this, that DNA
I
will
got a
be
feeling
in
that
Indiana
studio
Jones.
that made those games, though, most of those people are gone.
Don't say that. Shut up. But yeah, so I'm just hoping some of that DNA, that fun DNA of the Wolfenstein games, is in Indiana Jones. So I'm hopeful. I'm giving it a chance. Obviously, it's on Game Pass, so why the hell not? So it's
Absolutely.
just, I'm hoping because that's really the only game
Oh no!
that they're releasing this year that I actually care about, to be honest. I don't care about Call of Duty, I didn't care about Val, but that got delayed anyway. I'm trying to think of whatever first, don't care about Flight Sim.
Well,
I would play
they're
Towerborn
releasing
and Indiana Jones if I
Clockwork
didn't have too much to play
Resolution. You're
already.
not
That's not,
interested in that?
I said
That's
this
not
year.
this year.
I said this
I
year.
thought Clockwork is this year.
No.
They
No.
didn't even show Clockwork.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
they didn't
probably
even show it.
2027.
Yeah.
They've never given a date for Clockwork, so that's not
2026 at best.
like these games at least have a 2024 window. Clockwork doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
So I think that's 2025, 2026. So it's like that's really the only game. Like, I might try out Stalker. Just I might try it out. That's not really a first party game from them. And God knows where
Yeah,
my other game
apparently
is,
it's releasing 2024.
according to what.
Yeah, that sounds like
Give me-
that sounds like a placeholder date because there is no release date for that.
Okay, so we'll see then
Yeah.
when it's released.
Because they did, like
I'm
they
about to
said,
say,
they didn't even show
'cause
it. So
they didn't even show it in the showcase. And the last time they talked about it was what, last year? Or early this year? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you
when
right
the
now.
last
they
time
didn't give a
Yeah.
year or nothing because that was my most.
Yeah, they did, because they didn't give a
interested
release
me
date.
the most out of all their games was actually Clockwork.
Or
there's
a
no-
window. They didn't give a window or nothing for that game. So
No,
I just
they
assumed
said
it was-
ready when it's ready. Or basically, like on the
Oh.
show. If you remember that, that's literally what they said.
Okay, so
Available when it's ready, or something. They said something smart ass like that.
Okay, so yeah, I'm assuming that's 2025.
yeah, that's definitely not this year.
Yeah, and then it's just like replaced. God knows where that is. Don't know. They
I thought that was
had
coming
a-
out in 2022.
Yeah, I know. It was supposed to come out this year, and they ain't said nothing. So I'm just, So again, Indiana Jones is really the only thing that from them that I plan on playing. So let's just hope it makes it this year. But it's looking like it might not. I don't know. They did the price bump. They delayed the game. So I'm just like, y'all are doing a lot of stuff. People were real hype off this show and the possibility of Xbox having like 8-9 games for the end of the year, and it's just like it's looking, with every week that goes by, something else happens. So I'm just like, it's, we gonna get a release date or nah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mean, like you said, for all the trash that you're talking about PlayStation, they're releasing games.
I love how they're acting like they release so many games. They're tired from releasing games, and that's why they're not gonna,
That showcase this year was like a re-show of 2020.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that shit still ain't done. Why
And
did
it's
I
still
need to
not
see it in
done.
2020? They showed it in 2020 because they didn't have nothing to show.
I'm still shocked how we just
Thank
give
God
it
they're
so
buying
much
publishers
leeway
so
to
they can
stuff
fill in the.
like Perfect Dark. Like I'm just like, bro, that was announced
Like
literally.
2019,
Yeah,
2020.
yeah, like you said, like 2019 or something. It's like, are y'all for real? Like
Listen, that was made by. Listen, when you add that extra A to the triple A, and it's made by a quadruple A studio, it's gonna take an extra time. All right, they gotta quadruple it. All
Yeah.
right, so give them some time. When that comes out, it's gonna be something we ain't never seen. Like, I mean, same way with State of Decay. Like, we still don't have a freaking release date for that, and they
State
showed
of
that in
Decay
20
as
freaking
well.
20. I'm
Yep.
like, that was one of the games I was so excited to see because they, it was rumored that it was gonna be at the showcase. I was like, yes, finally, because I love State of Decay and I want the sequel. And they showed it, and I'm like, okay, it looks good, but then no date, no release window,
I
not
mean,
even a
Wara said
year.
that entire show was basically a Game Pass advertisement to string you along to get ready to play these games that are not releasing.
Hey, stay subscribed. There's things coming. This
It's
shit's
coming.
been working for fucking
Yeah, it's
5
coming.
years.
Trust me.
Your kids might be in college by the time they come out, but goddamn.
They were showing the games that are coming for the super duper deluxe edition Xbox that they got coming out. The PC
Oh, that
slash
2026,
Xbox Steam
baby.
box. Ooh.
Making for that handheld.
Right?
Getting ready for that handheld.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know, man.
Which don't make no sense because if you make it an open platform, nobody's using fucking Xbox on that bitch.
facts.
Again, that's what
I
Can
don't
you
I don't
imagine
understand that at
having a
all.
Series X? Like, what have they released this generation that put
That's
them on the
good.
map?
Nothing. Forza Horizon.
And the crazy part is, they ended that generation with nothing. When
Yeah, I
other
know.
studios were working on?
They ain't really had a good year since like 2015.
Yeah, I mean, they essentially bought a lot of studios who all had things in
Games in
development.
development. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then
Yeah,
some of
it's
them
an
are still
interesting
fumbled.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you 3/4 done with that? Oh yeah, we need that.
Yeah,
But
I just
yeah.
find it weird that everybody seems to get slower and less productive when they join Xbox versus when they were independent. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, look how long
weird.
Hellblade took for the fucking a lesser of a game, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like 5 times the team, twice as long.
47 trips
Not
to
as good.
Iceland later.
Yeah. 5 times the fucking development cost. For what?
Oh man. I'm just hoping that Ninja Theory gets to stick around, because
We're gonna
God
find
knows
out.
what
I
the
don't think
numbers
so.
what those numbers look like.
I think they got a year to. They're gonna look at the done.
Yeah, for Satya Nadella looks at that and says,
You guys sold 13,000 copies
I
and
see
spent
about
$65 million.
85 trips to Iceland on this bill right here, huh?
Yeah. Wait. We spent $72 million on this game and we sold 13,000 copies? Fuck you mean?
Yeah, so hopefully they want them around for the tech at least.
Yeah.
They built them a studio too, and
They built everything, brand new mocap, everything. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right now though, yeah, it definitely seems like they're playing the bait and switch with release dates for keeping people subscribed. I don't know how that's gonna work out for them. I think they're banking entirely on Call of Duty right now.
Yeah, that seems to be the big fish in the Game Pass, and I think that's going to be the kind of test that they use to see how how it affects Call of Duty. How it affects Game Pass and its subscribers. It'll be interesting. Like I said, I'm really interested to see how, because God knows if Xbox will even tell us what their numbers are.
They don't ever tell us any numbers.
They
Look at the financials, dude. They're like,
they tell
our
us,
revenue went up this much, whatever. Like, the shit, normal financials are like 6 pages long. They don't tell you nothing.
Yeah, I'm just hoping
they don't.
I feel like they'll
They
tell
don't
us
tell
if
you
it's,
their
they'll tell us if it's
overhead, their
good.
expenses.
They'll tell us if it's good. Like if they get like a 30 million, I'm obviously exaggerating.
Like
Bump
PlayStation,
in.
you know how much their software was, how much their fucking employee overhead was. The Xbox, you get revenue up this much, service up this much, and fucking that's about it. End of fucking. It's like
Yeah.
three bullet points, and then you go through Sony's, and it's like 6 pages of fucking financial.
I feel like if they get a decent bump in subscribers, they'll tell us. But
They
if
will.
not, I feel like they're not just not gonna
Yeah, but
say
that don't
anything.
mean a whole lot if your expenditures
But
went
don't
up
worry.
fucking 10 times.
Don't worry, guys. We'll definitely get the graph of how many zombies got shot in the head
Oh
this
yeah,
month.
that's coming. That's definitely coming.
Or MAUs, how many grandmas
20
fucking,
billion zombies shot thanks to you guys. Continue
We'll
the great
know-
work.
We'll know how many goddamn grandmas signed on to Candy Crush this month.
Oh yeah.
Fucking get out of here.
Oh man.
They count my mom. My mom played Candy Crush. She ain't spent the goddamn nickel,
mm.
but she count.
Mm.
She's an MAU though. Ain't spent
She
the
is.
goddamn nickel.
She is. But yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, they definitely got their work cut out for them. I don't know what they're doing. Personally, I hope PlayStation does a lot like the end of that USA game and just shoots a couple more threes in their face and just buries it. Like, I'll put their foot on the gas and keep it there. So hopefully, like I said, this showcase that's supposed to be coming up in September, they knock it out the park, go from there. Honestly, I kind of feel like maybe the pressure of actually seeing what PlayStation's got, might put a little sense of urgency underneath Xbox right now, because their fans definitely don't seem to do that. They're pretty much in denial about everything, so it's going to be up to the competition to apply that pressure. So, like I said, hopefully they show what they've got coming, and they feel pretty pressed about it, and pressure. They get some pressure cooker level type things going on in that game development over there with the Xbox, and they're able to produce some quality stuff. But we'll see. I think we got some time before that happens. It's definitely not looking like 2024 for the majority of these games, sadly. And I hate to tell some people who are looking forward to Fable, like myself, that Fable, we will be.
That's probably gonna be
extremely
2026 for real talk.
Exactly, and that's what I've told people. I was like, people are saying next year, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think so.
That's gonna be your avowed. It's spring 2026.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2026. So, yeah, it's a wait for a lot of these games, especially for someone who's supposed to be launching a new Xbox in 2026. So they say, but we will see. But speaking of Game Pass, though, and Microsoft being in the news about it, the Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick commented on it recently, stating that Call of Duty might boost Game Pass numbers for a period of time, which we all agree on. Obviously, it's going to do that but for how long? But he says Take-Two still won't put its new games into the service because it makes rational decisions. And I think anyone who has seen Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, but Grand Theft Auto numbers, knows what this man is talking about.
I think it's just the nerd, or not even the nerd, but just the way he said it. Like, well, we make rational decisions over here, so we just like, damn. Like, what do you? Off of you hear that, just like, well, damn. I know Phil was like, okay.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Tell me not to release GTA on your console? Like,
I
nah.
mean, he's absolutely.
Yeah,
honestly, it doesn't even need to be a GTA 6, even though that's a juggernaut, to make a rational decision as to not put your game on Game Pass. There's just certain level of game that would thrive and doesn't need to be put in a day one subscription service. It's just because it'll sell. Like, it is what it is. And yeah, he's right. It's the rational decision to make. He's reiterating something he said like last year or whatever. But I guess now, because Call of Duty, another big juggernaut, is being put into the subscription service, people are asking, okay, well, that's big and it sells. So are you thinking about putting your big game into the subscription service? And he said, hell fucking no.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I'm just trying to imagine the bag that Microsoft would have to pay. That's something that they were thinking about. Like, I'm just trying to think, what would the monetary, amount be to get something like GTA 6 day one on Game Pass? Like, it had to be in the billions somewhere. Absolutely. Because like the amount of money GTA makes, like and the thing is, GTA 5 is a game from 2013 and it's still selling the base game. Like, the base game still sells. one of the highest selling games ever.
Charting
And so
to
it's
this
just
day.
to this day. Okay, and so it's just like I can't even imagine the next evolution of GTA, and trying to get that in a subscription service, like I said, the amount of money that Microsoft would have to just pull out their ass in order to get that on it. And it's so funny because I did see, but not surprisingly, many Xbox podcasts alluding to the fact that they think that it's going to be day one in Game Pass, and I was just laughing because I'm just like, I don't think they either don't understand or they just like to lie to their followers about how big of a task that would be to get that game into the subscription service. Like, because that's the game of all games. That's the game that gets people to finally jump to next gen, right?
Absolutely.
Because there's always some people who hold off. They'll still be on a PS4 or an Xbox One, but then there's those games that finally get people to move over to the next generation, and GTA is that
Definitely
game.
that game. Yeah.
That's the game that even people who don't game like that and may game like once every few years, that's the game that gets them to start gaming again. And so this is the game that's going to move units for both PlayStation and Xbox, and like I said, it'll be very interesting to see the jump for both of them. I mean, I assume, and I guess the rumors are that PlayStation has the marketing rights for it. I mean, it would be wise for PlayStation to have the marketing rights for it. They had it for GTA 5, and I think Red Dead 2, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think they had it for GTA 5.
They did have it for GTA 5 for sure.
So I think it'd be wise. I'm sure if it's not already agreed upon now, I'm sure Microsoft and Sony were battling it out for those marketing rights. I mean, if I were Rockstar, I'd go with Sony, but that's just me.
It would cost so much for Xbox. Like, it's going to be outsold 5-1. So let's just say the marketing was $500 million for Xbox. It's going to be $100 million for PlayStation.
Especially for the fact that PlayStation is going to have the better console to play the game on day one, being with the Pro. With GTA 5 still slated, who knows? It may be delayed. It's Rockstar, but it's still slated for fall 2025, and the Pro will be out before that.
You mean
so
the black Xbox
It would be.
with stripper glitter over it is not competition?
Hey! Imagine if they reveal gameplay of GTA 6 on the Pro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's the kind of marketing that shock puts your product. That's the kind of stuff.
It's gonna cost them a bit, but I
think it'd be worth it. I absolutely think it would be worth it. Because even if people don't get the Pro, they'll still associate PlayStation with GTA, and that's where people will go. Because a lot of these, no insult to consumers, but a lot of them are not that informed when it comes to games, and they assume that whatever logo they see at the end of a trailer is the only console that the game comes out on. So if the end of the trailer it says Xbox, they'll be like, okay, so it's the Xbox. I have to have Xbox to play that, even if it's a multi-plat. Or if the PlayStation comes to the end, they'll be like, oh, so it's only on PlayStation, even if it's a multi-plat. So having that logo after and people associating your platform with this big juggernaut game of GTA 6 that's the type of marketing that you just put all your money into right there. Because that's going to end up in so much money because GTA is such a big seller, especially if they revamp GTA Online, a very popular, obviously, live service or whatever type of online experience that people love that still play on it. So if they revamp that for GTA 6, man, that's some printed money for PlayStation if they get that marketing. I mean, even without that marketing, they're still gonna make money because they're the preferred platform. And most people play GTA on PlayStation, according to the statistics, at least with GTA 5.
Yep.
So if people upgrade, because like I said, GTA is next gen only, so if they upgrade to PS5, that money will continue to stay into the PlayStation ecosystem. So I like I said, I'm very interested to see what the numbers are gonna look like and who has that marketing rights for GTA 6. Yeah, and I can't wait to see what the specs are for GTA 6 on the Pro.
Yeah,
like
that's gonna be interesting.
The the question that rang around the world is GTA 6 going to be 60 on the PS4 Pro or the PS5 Pro, I should say.
I think
Maybe.
I think PlayStation's paying heavy attention to what people are expecting out of this console, and I think they
Yeah.
realize that's one of the biggest things they need to get in
Yeah.
order. Is exactly what you
I
said.
think if not, I think PlayStation has been very, at least surprisingly to the Xbox fans who assumed that it was going to be Xbox that takes the lead on the frames department. PlayStation has been very apt on, making sure that, their games have 60, and more than that, giving the new.
Xbox has been making damn sure their games don't have 60.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure that the new frame rate of that 40 FPS option, that between quality and performance mode. And I think that if they can't get a 60 for GTA 6, I think that they'll prioritize having in like an unlock 30 mode where you have like that balance with VRR and 40 FPS kind of with the quality mode. I think that will probably be where they prioritize their frames if they can't get a 60 on that. Because my guess is that GTA will be like a lot of other games where it'll release at 30 and then like a year or two later they'll have like a 60 FPS version. That's how it's been going with all these games that release at 30. You get 30 the first year, and then next year or the year after that, they'll be like, okay, guys, we got 60 FPS for you. And
Yeah,
I'm
they
like, well, I
finally
already beat
get
the
it.
game. So
Exactly.
I think that'll be the case. Or knowing Rockstar, they'll just resell it as a remaster, with a 60 FPS. But yeah, like I said, all that is just, it's very interesting to me. Regardless of whether they get the 60 or not, obviously the Pro will be the best place to play it. Because at least quality wise,
Bias much?
no, it's not biased. It's a fact. It's
I'm
gonna be
joking with you. I'm
it's
joking
gonna
with
be
you.
the best place to play it. At least with when it comes
Yeah,
to
even if it's
Do you
14,
think
40, 30 on Xbox, it's still going to be whatever, 1800 or 2160, 30. No matter what, it's going to be better.
Do you
That's just
think
a given.
PlayStation is willing to put that much money to get it?
to get what?
To have Rockstar reviewed GTA 6 on it?
What is he talking about?
You said to debut
To get
it
the
on that?
marketing?
I'm talking about the gameplay. Like, if PlayStation forks a lot, and I mean a lot of amount of money, especially with their connection and with Rockstar, like, can you imagine if PlayStation would debut GTA 6 gameplay on the Pro?
I mean, they've already debuted it, so there's no debut really. But I think you mean
They
like
didn't show gameplay, right? Or
some of it was gameplay. It was just kind of cropped together. But
no, I'm talking about strictly like a 5 minute live
I
gameplay.
don't think they're gonna do that. I think that's just I think Rockstar just doesn't really do that when it comes to their gameplay trailers.
No, they'll get marketing, but you might see it in the
Yeah.
show afterwards because they have whatever,
Yeah.
fucking money or something like that, or certain skins or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, Rockstar tends to
Because like that
not
one year PlayStation
show
had, it was
that
like
kinda
a million credits or something like that. I actually did the math on it. I don't really play GTA 5 online, but the amount of money they were given in PlayStation Plus, if you were to actually go in and buy the shark cards, it's $120 for the year if you claimed it every month.
Yeah, because the way Rockstar shows their gameplay trailers, sometimes they show, because like for Red Dead 2, they did actually their official first gameplay trailer when they were like the year before Red Dead actually came out. They did debut the gameplay on PlayStation. But they didn't say it was PlayStation. Like it was just
Sneaky.
you could just you could see the R2 and the triangle and stuff like that on in the trailer, but they never said only on PlayStation. In the trailer it said PS4, Xbox One. It didn't say PlayStation. So it's like they could get the gameplay for it, but I don't know if they would say that it's on PlayStation, if you catch my drift. But either way, very interesting. Can't wait. Excited because they should be starting if it's still on schedule to come out in fall. They should be gearing up to do like the first, because they tend to do series of trailers, like 3 or 4, like one every couple months until the release of the game. At least that's how they did with Red Dead. Like they did one trailer, and then 2 months later they did another one, and then 2 months later they did another one. So they should start gearing that up. So I'm excited to see what the gameplay is gonna look like for GTA 6.
Same. They're talking a lot of improvements, a lot of things they've been working on, a lot of things they believe is going to be revolutionary, and at least when it comes from that studio, it's not something I disagree with. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'm excited for it.
the physics in Rockstar games are always top notch, so it'll be crazy to see what they do with this.
Agreed. Um, did any? I mean, we kind of all been talking about it, but did anybody else have anything they wanted to add? Okay, I think we're good. Just making sure. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that. But running right into the next one. Uh, Obviously, Warner Brothers has been in the news a lot lately. Everybody's kind of seen it. Looks like they're looking to license out some of their IPs, as they can't seem to take advantage of them at a fast enough rate or pace. So this, I guess, was mentioned as, some people have been kind of shopping around, trying to grab, either one for themselves, as far as what's been going on with Warner Brothers and stuff. Like, they're just not able to deliver on the amount of IPs they secured. So, now they're looking to, I guess, share, at least as far as licensing goes, out to some people to try and get some of these obligations fulfilled for some of the things that they own, and try to, capitalize on that. Obviously, a large drop in revenue due to how immaculate and amazing Hogwarts Legacy was, selling over 20 million copies, and one of the first games to beat out Call of Duty in years in the metrics. So, as far as games sold, so you kind of had that along with their terrible performance when it came to the Suicide Squad. So you got two polar opposites, but I mean, getting these in the hands of some other developers may do them some good. Not sure how the licensing fees and contracts would work, but they're at least looking right now or shopping around for other people to pick this up from them, and see if they can get some help. What exactly they're
Yeah,
gonna do with that, I do not know.
I absolutely love that idea. It's the same idea that Marvel does. Obviously Marvel doesn't have their own gaming studio, so they kind of, lease out their IPs to multiple different studios, as we've seen. Same with trying to think of the other IP, but I think it's smart to not have that. I mean, that's what EA is starting to do now. Oh, not EA, but um, Lucas Gameworks when it comes to Star Wars. It was like exclusive on EA for a long time, and I think they realized that that was a bad idea. And now they're finally starting to let other people make it. So now Ubisoft is making a Star Wars game. I think it's good. I think it's a good idea to allow your IP to visit multiple different studios. As far as like when it comes to like these, these famous IPs like Star Wars and Marvel IPs and DC IPs. Like, I think it's good to have them be able to shop around to get different studios to do different styles of these games or these with these characters. Like I would love to see like Naughty Dog do like something like a I don't know, trying to think like some
Punisher?
crazy, yeah, like a Punisher or something. That's Punisher's Marvel though, right? I can't remember.
It is Marvel, but
But
Batman.
yeah, like a Batman Beyond. And like like I just feel like there's so many great studios that could do some cool things with these IPs, and now that they're out from under um WB and Rocksteady, like, cause it just seems like the Rocksteady of old isn't there anymore.
Nope.
Like it's kind of the people
Them
who
people
made,
left.
yeah, the people who made like the Arkham series that we all love and adore so much are really not there anymore. So I think it's a good idea to dish out your IPs to people who may have some love and appreciation for them and give them that love that they need. So I would love for PlayStation to pick up some. I mean, I'm sure their studios are busy making other things, but I don't know, maybe get one IP for like a second party studio to make an exclusive for you or something.
Mm-hmm.
I want a
Um,
Green Lantern game, but I'm probably alone in that.
oh,
The
hey, I
concept
mean,
seems cool.
there's some cool things you could do with Green Lantern, like some cool physics and stuff you could do with that.
Agreed.
Um, but yeah, I definitely could see Microsoft picking up some. You know, they were so happy, I'm sure, when they finally got their first Marvel IP with Blade. We'll see how that goes. Uh, but I'm sure they're, especially now that they have a plethora of studios now, um, they'd be interested in picking up one of these IPs. But yeah, I think
Microsoft don't like to license anything really. All the things that they're doing that are licensed were done before or
true,
agreed upon before they bought them. They like to own everything.
true. But I mean, I think Blade was probably their decision because it came out right after they finished
Maybe.
what was that, Deathloop. That's when the studio announced after Deathloop. So I think because Xbox fans were pressuring them so much because here comes Sony with Spider-Man and they had Wolverine and they were just getting pissed because at first you're right, Phil was like, we don't like licensing out, and then what does he do? He gets Indiana Jones and Blade. So I'm just like, man, shut up. You say one thing,
Indiana
you do
Jones was
another.
well in contract before they bought him.
True. Because I think there was like a PS5 version or something supposedly before.
I'm sure there still is.
Probably.
I think that might be why they haven't announced it yet. Let these motherfuckers know
don't say
they
that.
want to play. Say,
Don't ruin dreams.
like, yo,
out
we
here.
gotta pay a license fee, and we know you cocksuckers ain't gonna buy this shit. We
Right.
gotta get money from somewhere.
Man. I don't know. Maybe we'll get that with the
They ain't gonna be
after the
happy with
Starfield
25%
DLC
of
announcement.
nothing. Fuck.
Yeah, but
Who do you think is
WB's
gonna
crashing, so
capitalize
I
on it?
think it's a good idea, to be honest.
Who do you think is gonna capitalize on it?
Who I think is gonna do what?
Who do you think is going to jump on the what you call it, the IPs?
I mean, it could be anybody, to be honest.
Whoever the hell wants it, whoever's got a studio that would be any good at it.
Like if it's
And it depends on what kind of a cut do they want.
yeah, it depends
That's
on the
gonna be a big thing.
contract.
Could be
Like what?
Microsoft, eh?
Cause like
But you
having
know
Spider-Man
This
exclusive,
man stay not listening to me.
they get a really large cut of everything. Like they kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, it'll be interesting to see who gets what. It'll also be interesting to see if they're willing to license out the Nemesis system at the same time, given that they locked that down and the Nemesis system is incredible. See if they're willing to share that tech with some of the people developing the other games for them. Um, so yeah, I mean, it'll be really interesting to see what they ultimately do and who gets what IPs and so on and so forth. Because like we said, you got to have the team to do something with that IP. Uh, so I said Deathloop. um, but yeah, I don't know. Warner Brothers. I mean, it could be big for them. It could utilize a lot of this IP real estate they've got that they haven't been able to really execute on, or have done so in a very slow manner. Uh, Especially since a lot of people are big fans.
Let somebody else take the reins of Batman for a little while, cause y'all been disrespectful.
They have.
Yeah,
Like,
they disrespected
So
Batman.
in the words of Titans, Robin, fuck Batman.
oh man,
But
like
I will say yes to a Batman Beyond game,
absolutely. I
or
think.
or even better, a Doom Patrol game.
Ooh, yeah.
Who the hell is Doom Patrol?
You
Excuse
didn't
you.
just say that.
Excuse you.
Okay, boot this man from this podcast.
If you got HBO, go watch Doom Patrol.
I don't really watch. I don't have time for TV.
Oh.
Well, make time, bitch.
We gotta add the bitch too.
he was like, this is serious business, sir.
This is serious. Yeah, like Doom Patrol, some Teen Titans, something. Like, give us something with a cool twist on it. Like,
Yeah, hopefully they're able to.
Yeah,
Hopefully
they have so
capitalize
many.
on it.
Yeah, they have so many cool IPs in DC that they just have not been treating well as of late.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, don't underestimate, because it's not just Batman and Superman, because they have V for Vendetta is DC.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Watchmen.
that. Oh fuck, Watchmen.
I would play a Black Adam game. I'm just saying.
Black Adam would be cool.
Especially
Sure.
since you don't have to
There's just
you
so
don't
many
you don't necessarily
possibilities.
have to be a bad guy. You're more of an so you can make good and bad decisions.
Oh yeah, anti-hero style, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just there's so many
It could be like
possibilities.
Mass
with these
Effect with a
IPs.
superhero. I could be a fucking complete dick.
Oh yeah, you can basically choose your path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Plastic Man game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Damn, I'm just now thinking about all of these damn characters. Oh man.
All the opportunities, all the different things.
They don't want
Opportunities are
anybody else to
endless.
use them, but you ain't got studios to make all this shit. That's the problem.
Exactly.
After Suicide Squad, they say, you know what?
You
We
know,
might have to
this
expand.
Microsoft, they're gonna make it vanilla, you know.
Still ain't seen a
oh.
Superman game since like fucking N64. Well, that's probably a reason for that, but
Yeah. No. I know. No, a Lobo game.
oh, I would play a Lobo game. I like Lobo, the main man.
Yeah.
That's my character right there. I love that.
See, so much potential.
So much potential.
Yeah, so it'll be. I mean, obviously, it'll be interesting to see where they go with it personally, versus what they license out, because they did, have recently retracted their stupid comment before about single player games being overly volatile, and so on and so forth.
Mind you,
Yeah,
their best games, their best selling games were single player. So
the best selling game like the last freaking 10 years.
Wait, they retracted it? I thought they doubled down.
They did.
No. They did initially. Now they're stating they want to work on a brand new Hogwarts Legacy, or a sequel to that.
You mean because that's the game that the bestseller of last year?
Yeah, exactly.
The one that was holding up
you
yesterday.
They're gonna make another bestseller. I got you.
Yeah. They.
It's so funny how like a lot of these big publishers will turn their back on single player and talk shit until they realize single player is the only thing that people are buying. They're like, wait a minute, we didn't mean that. We're sorry.
Remember when EA did that?
Wait, what?
Remember when EA did that?
Yeah.
When I hated what?
When EA did that.
Oh yeah, because they were
EA was talking
when she's
about...
she's a 10, but she likes single player games or some shit.
Yeah.
They were like, wait, hold up. People were like, wait a minute, what? They're like, no, that's not what we meant. We meant like she's an 11. I'm like, oh, don't try to turn that around. That's not what you meant. Like, you talking a lot of smack for Jedi Survivor and shit like that to be your bestseller. Gonna sit here and talk shit about single player games.
Yeah, they definitely did.
I'm telling you, man. Like, they just want us to be in these like live service continuously, milked for money.
They're tired of building games,
goddammit.
Yeah, they just want you to.
They're tired of getting these one-off $70 from us. They want to continuously milk us for these microtransactions. So they're trying to.
Not only that, they don't want to work on something else. They want to make something and keep investing in it. Or
they want that shit to be Windows.
Give the bare bone of it.
Shoot, sometimes they don't even want to invest in it no more. They just want to make, their version of investing in it is giving you more skins for microtransactions and not actually developing the game further, new maps and all these other things, which is another reason why you see so many trying to do a PvP-oriented live service game, because it's a lot easier to support than a PvE one, as you're seeing now with Helldivers 2 and some of the overbalancing and other things that they're going through. So it's definitely a weird, delicate process. I think they've, at least in the error of their ways, partly. We'll see what that turns into.
Listen, loss of money will make anybody see the errors of their ways.
Right?
when shit get into red, they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, the pocket's looking crazy right now.
You mean I can't buy a new yacht?
Wait a minute.
I already got my ticket booked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can't take notice when your game is one of the first to outsell Call of Duty in years.
That shit's still making the top 10 almost every month, and it's been like 2 years or something, a year and a half.
But hey, we want to make another one of the failure games that we made, though.
Yeah.
Let's make another one of them.
This Suicide Squad game that tanked our revenue by 40%.
Oh, man.
We want to invest more in those. We're gonna double down and triple down.
Got so bad they had to give that shit away
down.
for free in the Epic Store last month. Like, huh? I saw that shit. They said, yeah, give it, this weekend only, Suicide Squad free in Epic Game Store. I said, oh, this is sad. This is so sad. And they tried to get $100 or something out from that Ultimate Edition.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I played that damn. I'm so glad I played that damn.
I played that beta. That saved my ass.
It did for me too, because I was like, you know what? Let me not knock it till I try. You know, I like Rocksteady. Maybe they did something cool with this.
Yeah, maybe the gameplay is good and shit. No.
Tried that shit. I said, oh my, I couldn't even finish it. Got an hour into it. I said, okay, I'm bored with this. Like, I do not want to play this anymore. This is so bad.
Yeah.
I gave it a fair shake. I would have played it.
And Hero said it correctly. They want minimum effort, maximum return.
Absolutely.
You know, they said that, their players like to, they love min-maxing. So, they want to min-max too. They want to minimize the effort and maximize that return. Like, don't make us work for it. Just, give us your money.
God, we have to put effort in and hire people and all this stuff and make, wait years to make money from you guys.
Tell me you must, invest in your studio if you want some improvement. Shocker, I know.
Exactly. But yeah, honestly, that was pretty much all the topics that we particularly had. I did add one later on because this was a thing that came up lately. That we've got a lot of newfound PC gamers in the community talking a lot of trash. Some of them definitely, not honestly, because some of them definitely have some incredibly weak systems to be talking all that trash about consoles that they still play on, for the record. But yeah, I don't know what exactly it's gonna take for some of these people to understand that the further we get along in some of these things, like there's going to be diminishing returns. So
that's all technologies.
Yeah, that's just how tech
fucking
is.
TV. That's why I set a limit of like $2,000 for a TV, because I know in 2 years it ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah, you're gonna,
even if it's a $5,000 TV in 2 or 3 years, it's not gonna be. It ain't gonna be top of the class no more.
But ultimately, all that stuff that shines on your TV, right? It doesn't do anything unless the content supports it, and that's the key. Like, you need all of your tech working in
harmony. I got 8K. That's great. Yeah. What did you use it for?
Exactly. Like, I know one person that bought an 8K TV, and they thought it was the greatest flex ever, yet literally they have no 8K content. So it's like, that was funny for about 2 seconds until you realize you really ultimately couldn't even use it, properly, and they had to end up buying something else. Yeah, right? I mean, a Surface Pro, exactly. But that's the way some people are out here acting, right? They're like, oh, I got a Steam Deck. I'm a PC gamer. PC, and they're immediately
talking about Doctor.
Yeah, I mean that man is definitely on one lately, but not specifically.
He is something else.
Not specifically him, but he does have a handheld PC addiction that he definitely needs to see somebody.
He does.
About.
He keeps buying them. Like he was all about like handheld. I don't know. I remember he was talking about how great XCloud was because he could play in the car and he got in a car accident. What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, he
Wait, was he playing while driving?
Yeah, he
Oh
was.
God, that is terrible. I can't
That
even
was like a
believe
year and
he,
a half
I
ago.
can't even
I was
believe he
like,
admitted
man.
that. But
Yeah, that was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was like, are you for real? I'll never forget that. I'm like, are you insane? You're trying to play xCloud while fucking driving down fucking I-95 or something. What? What are we doing here?
But yeah, it's a lot of again, a lot like the first topic we covered. There's a lot of nuance to this that a lot of people are not really putting out there. And it's like ultimately, even if like I hate some of the excuses I've seen where people were like, "Nah, you're wrong," because you don't telling people because you don't play on PC, like you don't know what you're talking about. And we're just talking about like a visual representation of stuff, right? And then it's like a lot of these people are fans of stuff like Digital Foundry, but then when Digital Foundry ultimately looks at these games, maxed out next to, PlayStation game, the PS5 version, and so on and so forth, they're often shocked at how little of a difference there really is, right? And a lot of people are just trying to tell you, oh, it's night and day, this and that, you know.
It's not.
It's really not like, and this is coming from someone, if anybody wants to have that conversation, I've got the 4090. I've played God of War on my PC. I've played Horizon, you know the whole nine on my PC. uh Everything, right? That's not to say the games don't look good, but the games already looked good, right? Some of them do, really, really do excel in certain shadows and other things that look really good. Obviously, performance is going to be great, provided, again, you have the appropriate hardware in order to gain that performance advantage. As you guys very well know, if we're looking at proof of anything, um, the Steam hardware no, will show you, the survey will show you the majority of people don't really have the hardware to play a lot of these games, above 1080p.
Only like 15% of people have like a 2070 or above or something like that. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's just
It's low.
yeah,
It's not a
low.
lot.
It's very low, and it's like even the most popular card on there is only it only accounts for like 5.6% or something. That's considered the most popular card, and it's like that only just recently changed to I think a 4060. And I think the majority of those were laptops. Again, not terrible, but you're not doing anything amazing with that. I promise you. Again, this is now speaking specifically about Doc. His PC is one of his weakest problems, uh, because he invested too much in a lot of them handhelds and so on and so forth. And from what I remember, his PC is a 4060. It might actually be even weaker than that, but I think it's a 4060. And he originally stated like he thought he only wanted to play at 1080p. And I always tell people like you need to, when you build a PC or go with a PC in mind, there's a lot of things you need to consider. And I always tell people I never build a PC with the idea to turn the graphics down. Like, so if you know you don't play at that resolution typically, you probably don't want to do that because you're going to end up wanting more. And that's ultimately what's happening with him right now. And if he honestly would have just got the Steam Deck and spent the rest of that handheld money on the PC, he would have a balling PC right now, and he'd have no issues with that. But people live and they learn, right? I ain't gonna hold.
Yeah,
him,
he's got the
saying?
Asus and the fucking. He's got like three fucking handhelds.
Yeah, he's got
Crazy.
he's got like the Lenovo or something, the ROG and the Steam Deck or something.
Yeah, you got
ridiculous.
a fucking good PC with that, and then wrap your PC into that. You got a $3,000 PC.
Yeah, yeah. Well, nah, his PC is like $1,200. He probably paid more than that, but he shouldn't have. But yeah, like his PC's not that good. Like there's not a PC in my house that's weaker than his PC. All the PCs in my house are stronger than his PC, including my 4070 builds. And we got two of those.
Okay, Mr. Flex.
I'm just saying, like like he likes to say, there's levels to this, and yeah, his level when it comes to PC gaming just ain't up there. And as he recently found out, again, another misconception that I always tell people with PC, everybody, number one, is not gonna be a mouse and keyboard player, but he definitely had a run-in with his fair share of people cheating at some point. Not that everybody was, but he definitely had his run in with that, and that's why he recently stated that he's going to keep his consoles to play, without crossplay on and play, learning to, play stick to consoles in order to play multiplayer, as well as some other issues he's run into. Uh, Again, these are things that I'm telling people because again, I've played on PC for so long and run into so many of these issues. And I mean, doing IT as a daily, I fix people's PCs day in and day out. And the number of issues you can run into on PC is just infinitesimal, and it's like it could be the littlest thing. That's why, again, while I appreciate it and I like it, I gotta tell people, man, you gotta really prepare yourself sometimes, and there's some stuff you're just not gonna be able to do anything about. It's when it works, it can be very easy. I could coach anybody, through playing on PC and stuff like that. It's not hard, but it all starts with where you're at, right? Like I always tell some people, I'm like, look, tell me what you want to do on your PC. Tell me what you expect, what you think you expect from that, and then tell me what your budget is. And once we answer those three things, we know whether or not you should even bother building a PC.
And you have helped a lot of people, right? Including me, building a PC or just buying one. Like, it's not like you're talking out of your ass or something like that. And you always want the best for, the people that you're helping.
Mm-hmm.
It, it's just frustrating that people that invest in these ecosystems don't fully invest in them. Like, why are you capping like that? Like, at the end of the day, you're the one getting fucked over by not having one specific game that caters to PC to such power that you're like, okay, this game put PC on the map. Like, they want to
Well,
focus on,
the irony is a lot of them don't actually play a lot of the games that are PC specific. So that's also
yeah,
kind of the
they have,
irony behind wanting to build a PC, get into PC, and then they ultimately just want to use it as a, honestly, it's just a wannabe flex half the time for, oh, I can play some of the PlayStation games now. So it's like, okay, so in reality, you wanted to play PlayStation games the whole time, but
yep.
you was fronting, and now you're like, but I can play them on PC and I get the better version. Well, again, depending on your hardware, you get a better
No,
performing version. Uh,
but
but again, it's not this night and day difference that some people try. Like people try to act like it's an entirely different game playing it on PC, and I'm like, we really need to stop lying. Like that's bull.
you would expect it to be night and day, right? Like,
I mean,
especially if you,
that's what people think, but ultimately, it's still the same game. The optimization on PlayStation, especially when you're talking about first party, is phenomenal, and a lot of people just can't get past that. So it's like while you are going to get certain things like that when your PC is well above the specs, and you're going to get higher performance than it's capable of, maybe a little more ray tracing, a little better sharper shadows, stuff like that. Ultimately that does come together to create a better version, but like I said, again, provided you have the hardware to do it, because a lot of these people just, like we said, do the majority of PC gamers do not have the hardware to even run this stuff. And it's like no one can tell me anything personally when I'm experiencing these games, because you literally can't build a better PC than me. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire. Like you can't build a better PC than mine right now. So I don't have that issue. I've maxed out all these games. I've seen the bells and whistles. Most of them I delete them not too long after, because honestly it's useless. Like I've played the game already, and it's like I don't need to play it again. Like it's not that big of a difference. And I've had some people who thought that, and ultimately after they looked at it and went back to it, they were like, it's not really that big of a difference, and then they just kind of got bored with it. And it's like, again, it's cool like if you were just on the side and it just happened to come and then you wanted to play it, fine. But the reality is, I look at it like this: if you're really a gamer and you're really about that life, none of us are ultimately promised tomorrow. So if you really want to play these games the way you say you do when you actually a gamer, I'm not putting off, something for an
No shit,
undisclosed
I could
amount
die
of
in a car
time.
accident fucking tomorrow.
Exactly. Like, why would I
Yeah,
put something off for an
weird.
undisclosed
I
amount
am
of time
excited.
to wait to play a game that I could play right now?
Yeah, like that's so weird. I am so excited about this game. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wait
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
two
I'm gonna wait.
years, 3 years. Like
Yeah.
you already waited 6 years or sometimes 8 years for development. Yet here you are. I'm gonna wait a few years just to get 120 FPS. I'm like, do you even game, bro? Oh, I'm gonna tackle my backlog. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, no. I have a backlog, but new game. I have access to it. I'm gonna play it. Day one. I don't care.
Yep. But yeah, man, it's just a lot of. I see a lot of people talking recently, who are these newfound PC gamers, who really haven't.
Are they
They
PC
were they
gamers
were.
or Xbox gamers? Keep it a buck.
I mean, most of them are just Xbox gamers who were forced there to get the
Yeah,
performance they
Disgruntled
really.
the Xbox
Yeah,
fans.
they were disgruntled Xbox fans who were forced PC, uh, and honestly, really haven't gotten their feet wet yet. You know, I know somebody else who was pretty new. I can't remember their account name right now on Twitter, but they got a higher end PC, and it was all the praises. And I was like, I mean, I feel you, because you're ultimately just playing one or two games here and there on Steam that have already been patched like crazy. You haven't really had an issue yet, and then they ran into one issue and then another and then another, and I could hear, like, just see the frustration building up with the PC with them. And I'm like, that's what I'm telling you. Like, it's not, what I'm saying, everything is not, gravy all the time. You know what I mean? It's not 100%. But, yeah, if you know how to take care of it, you treat it well, you know what I mean? You work through the problems and the processes, you know, yeah, you can get through it and you can have a great experience. Like I said, if you buy the right hardware. But to act like, you're just destroying some of these consoles when a lot of these guys, again, don't have the hardware, is wild. And it's like, yeah, some games do make the difference, but most of them are not the PlayStation games, ironically, right? It's usually unoptimized mess, like you had with Dragon's
Final
Dogma 2,
Fantasy.
Dragon's Dogma 2, right? That well,
Final Fantasy remake.
remake is a bad PC port. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're talking about a major difference between playing on PC and
Oh, okay,
playing on
gotcha,
consoles.
gotcha,
That's what I'm talking about.
gotcha.
So, like, I bought that game on PC because I know my PC has a 4090, and I could brute force past the bad optimization to play the game at a reasonable frame rate. There's obviously been patched since then, and so on and so forth. Um, but again, unless you had a really powerful PC, even if you played it on PC, you were getting, like 30 FPS in the city and stuff like that. Some people that had some really strong rigs were still running into issues playing the game at 1440p and so on and so forth. So again, people telling you that they've just got this maxed out, flawless experience on PC on everything are lying to you. And even with the 4090, again, crashes, DirectX 12 not working the way it should. Like there's so many things. Like the list is just honestly too numerous to mention. Um, and again, like this is someone like myself who's been playing again on PC since the 90s. Like I've been through all this stuff, and like I said, I fix people's PCs for a living. Like, but I don't know. A lot of these guys, like I said, it's just a
I
product of,
think
of
lots
being
of
of
people
being
that
new to
play on
this.
PC, they play because of the mod. They like them. They love the mod.
Well, not
They
not
love the flexibility. But
not PC. So
you're not
some
gonna get
people, some people, but a lot
you.
of I'm talking like the new people are the issue, not the old people.
Then you people are console gamers that just go into PC because they have no other choice. That's it. Like, and also, let's keep it a buck. Like, people like you are far in between. They're not the norm when it comes to the PC master race situation.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
if
pretty much.
if people like you were the actual hardcore majority, like you guys would have been eating really good on PC instead of absolutely getting this crap. Like I call you guys PC waiter race for a reason.
Yeah, some of them are definitely living up to that name.
Because that's
Um,
all they do.
yeah,
Wait. I'm not gonna invest in a PlayStation or a Series X because I want to play on my with my freedom. I'm like, okay, wait, for 3 years, 4 years, you don't know when a game is coming out. You don't know if that game abroad is coming out.
well,
But
and that
hey,
that's the other misconception that a lot of these disgruntled Xbox fans want you to believe that every PlayStation game is on PC, which is also false. They want to believe that because they don't have a choice when it comes to their games because Microsoft made that choice for them a long time ago, and they're upset that all their games are on PC, and
And some of them are
that's
on
it.
PC and not on Xbox.
And some of them are on PC and not on Xbox. Exactly. So they go, well, I mean, I just use my PC as a PlayStation, So and I get to play the better version, and it's like maybe you get to play a better performing version potentially, depending on your rig. It's not universal. My gateway from 1998 laptop is not playing the better version of nothing. So again, let's stop with these things that we're acting like it's a universal truth, and it's like it's not. And like I said, most of these people don't even got the rig to be talking all this mess anyway. And even if they had that, they don't have the chops. Like it's plenty of people I've seen out here that they have the money, and that's the other thing you'll see with some people. Some people got the money, but they still don't have the know-how. So it's like, yeah, you bought a rig with a 4080 or a 4080 Super in it, nice, but you still don't really know what you're doing, don't really know how to use it. And the moment you run into the first sign of trouble, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have some serious issues, especially if you run into
yeah,
something that really takes some technical know-how.
like most people don't know how to troubleshoot, and I'm keeping it a buck, like including me. How many time I hit you up with come to game, it's not running well on PC. Like I'm so used to console that to PC for me, yes, I used to play on PC on my laptop, but PC is a different ballgame. Like most of the kids don't even work like that. Like you would think it's gonna, plug in and play, but no.
Yeah,
And yeah,
but I don't know, man. It's a lot of falsehoods, a lot of people talking about things, like it's a universal truth, and it's just that's not the reality. Uh, Again, people just I don't know, always being PlayStation haters for whatever reason. I don't know. People just stay mad at PlayStation like it hurt them or something. But we all know what that's about. We all have seen that stuff. Um, but I mean, we know the people who really out here that enjoy playing on playing on PC, playing on their PlayStations or however, and so on and so forth. Um, and it just is what it is, man. It's just something I wanted to bring up because I've seen a lot of that going around lately, and it's just like, all right, man, some of you new guys need to chill out. Uh, like
but
you like
they're
you've been
the
here
ones that
from the
missing
jump.
out, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like they've been the ones that are bringing this stuff up like it's like they've been doing it for years and years and years, and it's like, nah, that's not been the case. But
Congratulations,
yeah,
Celebrate is gonna come to PC. When?
yeah,
When
exactly. When?
Celebrate DLC is on PlayStation? Rebirth is coming to PC. When? Final Fantasy 16 is coming to PC. Congratulations. People already beaten it and the DLC included. Like
Exactly.
wait a race for a reason. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, what are you getting out of PC for Final Fantasy? Oh wait, ultra wide monitor optimization whatsoever. I'm like, okay. Does that anything for the gameplay though? No. It's
yeah.
just a
I mean,
visual
the one
and
thing,
some
like I said, you're
FPS.
gonna get if you have a powerful enough rig, is a performance boost, and that's cool. And like I said, maybe some sharper shadows here and there, but it's not the stuff. It's not as ridiculous as a lot of people wanted to make. It is in some games, like I said, but not when we're talking about PlayStation games, because that's the games they always like to mention, like PlayStation first party, and so on and so forth. And it's like, nah, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a difference. Some games, like I said, it is, and you guys see me talk about that all the time when I talk about whether or not I'm gonna pick up Space Marine 2 on PC or not, because it looks like a game that currently they haven't really shown on console, and I have the option to pick it up on PC, and that's probably why I'll pick it up, just
So
because
that
it
was
looks like
gonna
that's
be
gonna be
your
it.
PC. Do you know if it's a crop play or not?
I don't know yet. Yeah,
Mm,
but that's why I'm really waiting. I mean, I haven't pre-ordered it or anything, but I'm noticing all the previews are on PC, so on and so forth. So, but I make those decisions, as I get to them. But at the same time, everything doesn't benefit from you playing it on PC either. I mean, Weeb's been a long time PC guy as well. He knows. I mean, what would playing, you know, uh, Life is Strange do for you on PC? Like nothing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's overblown that it does all this stuff for all these games. It's like that's not really the case. It's not to say it's without its benefits, but a lot of people are just exaggerating some of the other traits about it. You obviously get access to a ton of early access games and things like that that you might be interested in, that you normally wouldn't have access to. Obviously, being able to mod on a few of the games that have decent modding communities, it's not as crazy as they make it seem sometimes, but some of the games do have some really dope mods and stuff like that. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold us any longer. I just, like I said, I just wanted to mention that because it's a lot of false nonsense going on, and new people showing up trying to again do the same thing. Some of the older PC dudes be doing, I went PC and I never went back, and I play everything on my PC, and it's like, no, you don't, because everything's not there. So stop lying. But yeah, that's the end of our show, episode 28. Thank you for everybody that came through. I saw Wara said he had to go. Um, Priscilla, Henry, Seafresh, um, Will, Doomsayers, everybody came through. It was a solid team out there. We got over 10 viewers or so at one point, solid for a while. So it seems like everybody was enjoying the conversation. Some great conversations, good show. Um, Weeb, let the people know where they can find you, sir.
Uh, yeah, on Twitter as the Weep Sheriff at Infant Rhizome. Great show, and Other Nation.
Otter Nation.
Otter Nation.
And Morgan, now that you are here, ma'am, where can the people find you?
You can also find me on Twitter, sometimes, at Chill Bandit. Um, just playing games, hopefully beating them, probably not, but trying one day at a time to not get distracted by other games. But
Mm-hmm.
that's just the sign of how many great games there are out there. But great show, and see you guys next week. Otter Nation.
Absolutely, Otter Nation. Nelson, welcome back, sir, from your busy schedule. Let the people know where they can find you if the kids haven't murdered you already.
Nah, they hungry.
Oh, okay.
Chicken's already in though. I took care of
Hey, there we
it.
go.
Nelson Gaming 12
No doubt.
everywhere.
That's what we like to hear. And last but not least, Karaba Man, where can the people find you, sir?
yeah, so shout out to everyone that came through. Great show, great conversation. Again, we're so close to 50 subs. Check the stream out and hit that like button. You can
Absolutely.
find me Incredible Switch on Twitter and Vitamin G podcast 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very quick. This is I had no idea about, but uh, internet. The time I got uh, reincarnated as a slime, it's actually getting a PlayStation and a Series X. I'm not sure about Switch. New game, and
Yep.
it's gonna have content that not even showcased in the anime yet. So looking forward to that. That might be my next game. We're gonna see. But yeah, thanks for playing with us and see you next week.
Yep, no doubt. And again, I am your host, Innate. You can find me on Twitter at the real Innate. Again, it was a great time. Shout out to our resident, always on the road, hardworking mommy, Kay. She can't be here because she's on the road right now, but she will join us when she can. But shout out to Kay and Otter Nation. Peace.
Shout out to Viper
Otter Nation.
also.